Do it. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, we're here. We're here.
Hey.
We're live. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. 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 We're back. We're back. Episode 7. I can't believe it's like almost been 2 months. Like I feel like we're just getting started, but we've been doing this for a minute now.
Yeah,
It's true.
it's
Yeah,
great.
we've had so much adventures. We've taken down a big bad guy.
I know. And how
Mhm.
many in-game days has it been?
Like 4.
3.
Yeah.
hmm Not a lot of days. Not a lot of days. A lot has happened very quickly.
hmm
Yeah, I think we can all relate. We've had all those like weeks in our life where like, was that 100 years? I think all of 2020 actually was that week.
Oh
You
my
know.
God, yes.
Yeah, we're in like the 16th month of March or something.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Cool. So you guys are all doing well. Do we have any kind of questions that we should talk about your characters or anything like that? As we're like getting ready to get going.
I don't think so. I'm pulling up Roll20 now, so I'm making sure that everything should be up to date for me. And I think I did because I had 2 level up thingies.
Yep,
I had to
you
do.
did.
Yeah, which was very
You get
exciting.
some good advancements. You got a new power tag, and then you unlocked a move of like who's the boss, or an advancement of who's the boss, right?
What he did.
So I think, yeah, Tony Danza grew up, or he went to high school with my dad, and so
That is an
yeah.
amazing factoid.
his mom lived across the street from like one of my best friends, and when we were in like 6th grade his mom passed away. She was a really great lady. Like she would make us brownies. We'd be out in the street riding bikes, and Mrs. Danza would come outside and be like, and like give us like, you know, cookies and baked goods and stuff. And so I remember vividly when his mom passed away, he was there like out on the front stoop smoking cigarettes and stuff, and like but he was really nice to all of us, you know. Like we definitely were like, oh, Mr. Danza, like we're so sorry, you know, your mom was so nice. And he was very gracious and sweet, you know. Yeah, Mr. Danza, go Long Island, you know. Cool. So everybody had a pretty good week. Anything exciting going on? It's Mother's Day.
No.
I'm getting back into like rock climbing, bouldering. I talked to
yeah.
Zed a little bit about this earlier in the week, but yeah, I've turned into kind of a lump of unformed clay over the past 16 months, and it's time to get a little
Haven't
shape
we
back
all?
at.
Yeah.
So, I'm not good at the gym where you just like pick up weights. I can't do it. So it's more fun, I think, like rock climbing and bouldering, and it's been exhausting but a blast.
That's
See, I'm
so
all
much
about the
fun.
gym where you can pick up weights and put them back down.
Yes, love it. Best time.
I've never done any like real good rock climbing. I'm like really into like tree climbing. Like I have harnesses and ropes and stuff. And so like I'm up on this mountain and I'll go find trees up on like good like kind of skylines, and yeah, it's very different because it's all like kind of vertical leg strength. Like I'm not actually on the tree, I'm climbing on ropes and stuff. But yeah, I really love it.
Yeah.
Zed, you did crazy trapeze this weekend.
I did.
That's so fun.
I'm so happy. Yeah, I hadn't done trapeze since March 12th, 2020. Not that I'm keeping track.
Really?
And I finally got to be in the air again, and it was outside, and it was with friends I hadn't seen since like March 12th, 2020, and it was an absolute blast and a half. All these vaccinated folks just hanging out in like a hippie commune house on a farm. Like, we had an incredible weekend. Oh my God, it was amazing. Somebody showed up yesterday to hang out for a while.
I know. I get to see you and hug you, and that was unbelievable.
Yeah,
to
that
like
was
leave
wild.
my house and interact with other humans was like insane.
Yay.
The land is beautiful.
Cool.
We like went on a hike. We saw like nature and stuff. There was a waterfall. There was moss. There were trees.
There was extraordinary moss. There
I
was
haven't
photographic
haven't
evidence.
left Brooklyn basically for 16 months. So like at all.
Oh my goodness.
It was a time. So I'm a little loopy, but hello.
That's okay. I think it's been a long night for all these characters.
Good.
They're probably a little loopy too.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess we should like get into it and play the City of Mist. So yeah, we do the opening monologue, and usually one of you does it. But I think I said I would do it this week. So
Yeah.
I think that as like the camera opens up and we take in the like glowing neon kind of skyline of the city, the mist kind of shrouding around, and we focus in on the docks. We can see like the big freighter ships out by the water, and we start to like kind of pull in from there and like move towards the sort of industrial district. These massive like sprawling kind of skeletal remains of sort of abandoned warehouses around us. And I think as the camera kind of focuses in on the group of 5 folks out on the street in front of one of them, I think we swoop past them down into the basement where we see the big like stainless steel doors of like massive kind of industrial refrigeration unit. And inside, one Linden left by the lot of you last week. And I think probably like in his voice we hear like, I don't know how I ended up here. This has all been a mess. I never wanted to kill those people, but I did what I had to do to stay safe. I'd do it again too. Something has changed now. The doctor, he showed up at the fight club with the rest of those friends of his. And he put me on my ass. Whatever has been pushing me, I can't feel it anymore. I don't know if it's gone. But something's different. And I think that that's it. I think that the camera
Well, then.
like fades to black, and we come back in as we kind of see the 5 of you standing on the street outside these warehouses where you locked up the murderer, this man who has killed 4 people down here. I believe a padlock was placed in the door, though not locked closed.
Yeah. And I think Jonathan and I were going to stay and like kind of guard that night.
Yeah, so he didn't feel like alone.
Yeah. And we're not just leaving him alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lot of you, the 5 of you, are kind of standing by like the staircase leading back into the basement where Charlie let you in. And yeah, what's the plan here? I guess as Lyra and Jonathan are going to go back downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I think we're going to stay. Like, why don't you guys go get some sleep? You know, we'll regroup in the morning.
What a dream. Getting some sleep. Okay. Oh, we were gonna lock him in a fridge. We locked him in a fridge. Oh,
Yeah, he is locked in the fridge.
oh
Yep,
man.
he's definitely
big
locked in a
fridge.
fridge.
I'm supposed to
Big
go home
fridge.
and sleep after we just locked him in a fridge.
Honestly, from what we've seen, if he doesn't want to be in that fridge,
He wouldn't be
I
in the
don't
fridge.
think he would
Right.
be.
That's fair.
And he's showing mixed amounts of remorse and no remorse. So it's
Yeah.
hard to
This is
gauge.
also a very fair point.
Yeah. He is a murderer.
He definitely has killed people.
Also,
Yes,
a
multiple.
I think
fair
that's why Iggy and I were suggesting that we do something else rather than commit
We
or
cannot
commit
bring
kidnapping.
point. Oh
him.
my god, I
To
can't
the
have the
corrupt
police discussion
police.
again. I can't do it. I can't do it.
We need to figure something else out. He will just get back to harass us, and this will all just keep happening again. We need to, if we're going to solve this, we need to, like, snip it, like, at the root. Like, we need to go, like, figure out what the hell Erastus's plan is. And I think we need to go talk to Anastasia.
Yeah, Anastasia's the way to go, I think.
Yeah.
She's like the linchpin right now.
And maybe the
Yes.
least volatile link.
Yeah.
She did let us
exactly.
into the club.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Well-
not totally against us.
Until
Maybe.
we
And
figure
she
out
was-
how to contact her or where we can talk to her that feels safe. I guess
I mean-
we just go home. At least the rest of us do. As
Yeah.
Nick looks at Lyra and Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, we have her like BFF right here. Erastus was saying that he disliked her relationship with Lyndon, and so we might have some leverage there.
It's true.
So maybe we can convince him to meet up with her or something.
Oh,
Arrange a
interesting.
meeting.
You want to already just take him out and put him into a situation where he's going to just go talk to Anastasia?
No, I mean, like, we prepare like
with
a
an
conversational ambush.
A diplomatic ambush.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you know, a classic move, the diplomatic ambush.
Yes.
Right. I feel
Or you-
like that makes a lot of sense. Just maybe not with the giant bull demon murderer.
And what
Maybe
are
just
we
us?
exactly?
Yeah, just a bait and switch.
Yeah,
So we're
he's
just
the
gonna
bait,
leave
we're the
him
switch.
in the fridge.
I
I feel like we
mean,
need to just take him with us.
Where?
I don't know.
God.
Not
I
near the
believe
docks.
Iggy offered up his apartment as we were about to part last time. I think Iggy, in like complete like indignation, was like, "He can stay at my place."
We can have dinner.
With Lyndon?
And Anastasia. That
Yeah.
seems
Dinner
friendly
party.
enough, right? And Charlie can come.
Nope. That makes it even worse somehow.
Anyway. Yeah, you guys go try to get some sleep. We'll figure this out tomorrow.
sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm still
Rest.
pretty shot, I think. Right? Because my, like,
Yes.
winded status.
Yes, I went through your sheets before we started up tonight, and I just double checked. Like most of the statuses, I think have worn away. Right? Like Jonathan had the preparation and the monstrous strength, and like that's gone. That stuff. I think the only thing lingering is Lyra. You're like pretty battered, and so I think to that point, as we see the five of you split up, Escher, Iggy, and Nick heading back to their respective homes to like rest for the rest of the night, and Lyra and Jonathan kind of heading back down into the basement. I think that we go into like a montage here, as this is downtime. So yeah, I don't know. It's on page 267 if you guys want to scope it out as far as things you can do.
It's also
But,
in
like,
our, like, the page on Roll20. In the main
Oh, yeah.
moves. It's there.
Sure, it is. I tried to copy a lot of stuff in. But so, yeah, to that point, Lyra specifically, one of the things you can do is recover from your last activity.
Yeah.
For each ongoing status still affecting you, the MC will tell you if and how it can be reduced during your downtime and how many tiers. So I think that you can remove the full status if you like rest for the night, you know?
Yeah.
If you're just gonna like hang out here and rest, like you're like kind of hurt, but he didn't like, you know, batter you badly where like you have any broken bones or anything like that that need like severe medical attention, right?
Yeah, it's definitely what Lyra's gonna do.
Okay. So that's Lyra. What about everybody else? What does this look like this night as you're kind of going to go home, rest? Yeah,
How late is it?
it was late, but not like depths of the night. I think it was probably like 2 or something like that, about 2 in the morning.
Yeah, Nick's gonna go to bed.
Okay. Yep. Nick goes to bed. Nick goes home and he crashes. And yeah, we see him like in his apartment where we've been many times. Is there anything else then? I guess like in the morning as he wakes up, what is Nick getting into?
Cool. I think I don't know if this would fall under work the case or prepare for next activity. I'm sort of leaning work the case because Nick is gonna do. Man, what is it in this world? Bing. We're gonna use Bing.
Oh
to-
my god.
Oh yeah, cool. Bing got huge. Yeah, Bing
Bing
got
got
huge.
for some reason
huge.
in 2080.
Big Bing energy.
Yeah, and look up information on Anastasia, like, you know, like try to figure out like what type of places she likes going to beyond her brother's club, What sort of charity interest does she have? Just kind of learn a little bit about Anastasia.
I think that's work the case, like if you want like clues and answers to questions, that would be work the case more so than like prepare for your next activity, like gives you juice to bring into whatever you're going to do later. So yeah, ultimately we see Nick like in the morning, right? Like sitting there on his computer, like clacking away as you're doing your research. So you have three clues. And I think the method is like obviously like, Bing research, a Bing search.
Nick and Peter Parker from Amazing Spider-Man. Those are the only two people who have ever used Bing search.
Bing to like great effect. I love that Peter Parker. So, Nick, I ask you, what are you asking? You have three clues.
So yeah, I guess the first one is what sort of charities and interests does Anastasia have?
Great question. So, you see that she's involved in like a great deal of like philanthropic work, but fundamentally, she does a whole bunch of stuff with like ecological preservation, in endangered species, like fundraising for like endangered species and like ecological restoration, along with a bunch of stuff with like physical art objects, like historical objects, right? She does a bunch of like kind of museum fundraisers and stuff like this,
Okay.
more so than like art shows, more museums, right?
Cool. Is there places that she frequents that's not the club, like more places that we would be able to go talk to her if necessary?
Yeah, great question. So I'll say that I'm gonna give you like a twist on this. You know that actually, like, she's got a fundraiser coming up at the museum tonight.
Yes.
Okay. Does the museum have a name?
Night at the museum?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Well, it's what we're doing.
Oh my goodness, yes. I'm okay, yep.
The museum's name is, definitely something. It's going to be like the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Yeah, no, that's terrible. But it's like something like that.
Well, that's
you know?
a
Well, the
real
MoMA
place.
is going to be really upset that you said that it's a terrible name for a place.
Love
Just doesn't feel very
Momo.
creative. But it's like, it's like the Metropolitan Museum of, historical preservation. How about that?
Okay. And let's see. Last clue on Anastasia. Is there indication of what type of movies she likes?
Yeah, so she like goes to a bunch of like film premieres and all this kind of stuff as the wealthy would be. And I think that she goes to a ton of art films, but I think that she's into also a lot of like these kind of nature documentaries, right? These big giant like ecological films and stuff like that, documentary films.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Those are the three.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Nature.
So that's Nick working the case as we're seeing him like pounding away at his keyboard, and I guess as that fades out and we come back in, Escher or Iggy, either of you, do you have anything you're doing during this montage
I
here?
had an idea.
Not really. He would probably just go home and relax. It's been a long day.
Okay, indeed, it has been a long day. I think that as Iggy is like at home, like doing his thing, like he probably like, how does he deal with most of his clients? Does he like get them like through email? Is that kind of like a phone thing or?
Networking.
Yep, fair. The final like scheduling though, right? Like the actual like logistical element. Like would he check his email as he's like, after a night of resting and stuff like that?
Yeah, he would.
Okay. I think that in like your email, Iggy, that you've received an email, and it's from the Erastus
Fuck.
Enterprises.
Oh no!
And there's like that moment of like cringe as you see it, and you kind of click on it and open up, and it's essentially like
Do
I don't know. Do you?
What is the subject line?
The subject line is lucrative business opportunity.
Knife emoji, chef hat emoji.
Yeah.
Use an asterisk on either end of the subject.
He would make himself some dinner, have a stiff drink, and then he would read the lucrative business opportunity because he wants to be not at all clear-headed.
Love it.
Got it.
What does Iggy make for dinner?
It's like a ramen. It's really not sexy.
I love the idea of professional
Depends on
chef
the
just
ramen, though.
just making up some pack ramen here.
Yeah, this is like 30 cent. Yeah,
Got some
like the questionably named Oriental flavor that they still have at the store.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
No.
I love that that's still a thing that exists. And you're just like,
Yikes.
nobody, this has changed. Okay.
Nobody thinks it needs to be fixed. That's good. We'll leave that.
Iggy, you open the email with some trepidation, and I think it's like a pretty like straightforward presentation of Erastus Enterprises wants to meet with you to see if you are interested in coordinating a conglomerate of private chefs to work together as part of a larger enterprise.
That doesn't sound very private. Or not very personal. Personal private chat. He's not responding to it right now. He's gonna go to sleep.
Yep. That's cool. So we see Iggy like take a look at this, like considering it for a minute, and then he kind of like closes the laptop and heads to sleep. Escher, how about you?
Yeah. Okay. So I think what I'm doing. Yeah. I think what I'm doing is giving attention to my logos because I think the idea that I have is that fundraiser thing? Like you can find out about that just like on the internet.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I probably found that same information, like doing some research, and my in is going to be to like pull together a documentary pitch for her about, birds or something. And so that I'm like researching whatever's going on at this museum and like putting together ideas for a documentary, like about her philanthropic work saving the bird, like a short, probably not like a full length situation. But like a profiling courage or whatever about
sure.
profiling capitalism about this woman.
Profiling capitalism.
She's had a lot of money. What do you want from me? I'm doing my best.
Indeed she does. So you're going to give attention to one of your logos, which is the documentary filmmaker?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, I dig it. And so let's circle around to Jonathan. Like Lyra, we cut to like the basement where we see Lyra is like pretty battered, and she's just like, all right,
she's just like flat back, like her head leaned back against like the wall of the fridge and just out.
Okay. So Jonathan, what are you up to over the course of this night?
I think so. I was kind of looking and thinking at some of the stuff you can do with the downtime with the montage. If I gave attention to one of my crew tags, I would have 3 attention, which would be like maxed out, correct? Or not
Yeah,
crew tag, but
that's
like, and I
you're.
feel like it kind of fits where like it would be my mission is crime must pay, and we're kind of in a moment where we've got the bad guy and we don't trust the police, so like Jonathan feels like empowered that he is doing the thing, like that he is set out to accomplish. So I think I want to mark attention on that. But then I guess I'm a little hesitant to try to figure out what the improvements to it should be.
Sure, we can talk through it for a second. I mean, like that's part of it. But so yeah, it's a mission. That's the actual like theme book that we're talking about, right? And so like the generic improvements are that you could just add a power tag, right? You could add a weakness tag, or like rewrite your weakness tag, change it to make it more functional for you. Create a way to like call on it more in advance faster, right? And then at the end of like the mission theme improvements, you have these few little options of like other stuff you can do. It's on page 155 of the book. You don't have to figure it out now if you want to like take a second. Oh no, Nightbot's back. If you want to take a second,
I'm ready for a
to
fight.
like dig through them and kind of take a look at them.
Can you refresh
certainly
us?
can.
It's still kind of a new concept on the idea of
Sure.
dynamite. Like a dynamite is mentioned here, and it just came up in the game last time, but I don't quite remember how it works.
Yeah, no problem. So, like, dynamite is essentially like right now, whenever we're rolling, we have like these 3 tiers, right? Of like 6 or lower is a failure, 7 to 9 is kind of like a moderate success, and 10 plus, like, boom, is the big success. Dynamite means whenever you roll higher than 12, if you get 12 plus, you unlock additional stuff, depending on which specific move it is, right? So, like, let me just for like an example, I'm gonna just do one of these like I'm gonna grab your sheet and I'm gonna roll dynamite for hit with all you've got until like something good really happens. Okay, that should work. Give me another one. Oh my god, I'm burning all
complete
Jonathan's
miss.
good rolls. Holy cow. Here,
Yeah,
hold on.
get the bad juju out.
Yeah,
Here, I'm gonna put +6 on the roll. There it is. Oh my
Okay,
god, even with
great
+6 we can't do it. Okay.
Wow.
There it is, 14 with the dynamite. When we get like the dynamite, it unlocks a bunch of additional kind of options here, right? Where like you could take cover, secure a superior position, you get them good or get many of them, you control the collateral damage. Like it essentially just gives you an extra tier of like options to choose from out of the results of these rolls, kind of, right?
Gotcha. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it can be pretty cool, right? And they're very like specific in the where you unlock the dynamite, right? It's like you look at most of the improvements, they're like, oh, you can, like I believe Nick's was like he picked 2 moves, which were, gosh, convince and
Looking now.
cool.
Card. Convince and change the game are dynamite for who's the boss.
Right. So when he rolls convince or change the game and he's using stuff particularly from like his defining relationship, then they go dynamite. They can like unlock big stuff over 12.
Gotcha.
But you can like, take a moment and like look through those. It's no like big pressure. If you want to just put a pin in it and like make a note on your sheet, you're welcome to come back to it later, right?
Yeah, I'll put a pin in it. I'll kind of give it some thought and come back to it later. But yeah, I'm trying to decide fully what it's going to be. It'll probably be either a
Okay.
power tag or maybe a kind of improvement to the theme itself, like that.
Okay, cool. No sweat. I dig it. It's a lot. Like the game is really like pretty straightforward in its most basic, right? Like we've got the idea of the tags down, how to use them. We're like getting a feel for these like core moves. But yeah, the deeper we dig in, the more like yeah, the more homework there is to do, right? Like there is depth to like improvements and stuff in this game that like take a little bit of research, so it can you can feel on the spot when like the stuff unlocks and it's like, wait, what do I do?
For sure, but there's also a lot of ways that like you grow in ways that in other RPGs that it's more broad. This feels like I'm growing in a granular way that feels very connected to like some of the events. So you want to make sure you're true to the character in a way where you're leveling up a little.
Yeah, no doubt. It's part of like what like attracts me so much to City of Mist or whatever. It really is like very neat the way that development occurs through like the actions you're taking, literally, right? And they're really related to each other in a big way. Cool. So as we come to the next day, what's going on here? I guess yeah. You all tell me.
Did you guys bring us coffee?
Yeah, really?
Are we meeting back up at the
In front of the
Fridge.
fridge.
at the spot at the fridge?
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems safest.
Okay.
Trying to think. I guess I technically worked the past 2 days, so I guess I could technically have today off. So I'll be off today, and
Okay.
yeah, I'll go back to where it is. Otherwise, I'd be just texting throughout the day. But yes, let's say I'm off, and so I go meet everyone at the at the place where we have
At the room.
kidnapped a person and locked them into a
The room
fridge.
where it happened, so to speak.
Oh,
I think Escher will have brought thermoses of coffee.
Nice.
They did like 2 whole dishes and brought the thermoses of coffee.
Escher comes like
Hey.
walking up with like the clanking metal thermoses. I could see him.
Exactly.
Big old metal thermoses.
Yeah.
Dang. Cool. So
amazing.
I think we see like the door to the basement open, right, and like that like creak of light, that seam of light into like the darkness, right? Lyra and Jonathan probably like blinking a little bit as you hear the clanking of the kind of thermoses coming down, and slowly like one after another, right? Like Nick rolls in, and then Iggy, you just show up.
Iggy does not show up.
Oh,
Ooh.
where's Iggy?
I don't know.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's all I need to hear. So the four of you
You're
are
gonna be excited.
the four of you are in this basement. This whole series of kind of refrigerator doors like running down the thing. The one with the padlock sitting in it. There's been no noise really from inside or anything like that. Yeah.
Good morning.
Hey, how's
You guys
our?
get any sleep?
Yeah, I got some good sleep. How's our
You
special
got
guest?
good sleep after this?
Sometimes you just pass out from too much.
Yeah.
You say so.
Is that for us? And Jonathan gestures at the
Oh
thermos.
yeah, here.
Oh, thank God! And he's just like,
Caffeine.
"Ah,
It's just straight black coffee.
it's good.
That's all I got.
Jonathan is burning his tongue, just like it doesn't matter.
Need the caffeine." So is
Yeah.
it just the two of you this morning?
Yeah, where is Iggy?
It's a good question. Have you
Iggy!
heard from as Nick nods towards the door where Lyndon is?
No.
Oh, we haven't even checked on him this morning. You literally just woke us up.
Yeah.
So he could possibly not be in there.
I think we maybe would have heard if he was getting out of it.
I mean, only one way to find out.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean,
Lyndon.
we're
Bang,
speculating
bang,
about a thing that can be answered by opening a door.
When Lyra bangs on the door, Iggy opens it from the other side.
I knew it was gonna be good. I was just thinking, if
Good
only
job.
Iggy was here to open the door.
He's sleeping.
Is he? Is that accurate?
Yeah, he's like curled up in the corner,
Okay.
He's got his jacket like bunched up, his head like on it. He's kind of in the fetal position and looks a little pathetic, yeah.
Aw.
Have you been
I
in there
don't know if
this
I
whole
should
night?
aw to it. Transforming demon murderer. Hey, Lyndon! Rise and shine!
You see him like kind of like roll open his eyes, and he kind of like blinks, like the light being like so much as he's been in this like completely dark space. And he's like, what's happening?
We have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do we?
So
Yeah,
he
he's
kind of like
Anastasia's best friend.
gets up and like pulls his coat over to him. He's kind of like holding it in his lap, his like knees kind of like tucked up against his chest a little bit.
I mean, you want to stay in the fridge?
I didn't realize you were letting me out.
Well, we're not letting you out, but I mean, like,
Well,
you're
then
probably like.
I guess I should stay in the fridge. I mean, what are we doing? And so he.
I'm kind of on his side here.
Yeah, what are
we
doing?
doing?
I don't know. I was
We
just
can't
gonna
let him out
offer
of the
him
fridge.
outside
We-
into the light instead of it. I don't know. All right.
I think
Or he
Jonathan
could run?
gives him the thermos of coffee though.
He's kind of like,
Oh.
yes, thanks.
You're welcome.
And he like takes like a big guzzle of it, like, ooh, it's hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thermos.
Jonathan's great.
Jonathan
I
is
love
great.
it.
And I think he like hands it back to you, you know. He's like, thanks. So it seems like you all have no fucking clue what you're doing. Or am I leaving here or what's happening?
Look, man, we just feel like we're in the midst of something. You're in the midst of something bigger than you, bigger than us. We're trying to figure it out. Yeah, we don't got a clue what's going on, but we're close to having a clue. If you help us out, I think we can get on that right track. Like my friend is saying, we probably do have a couple of questions you can help us out with.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. Well,
Like, I mean, I don't want to air any dirty laundry or anything, but we saw you with that girl Anastasia. Could you give us the dirt on her and her family, her whole situation?
he like kind of looks from you to like the rest of the group, and he's like, I mean, I don't know that much. I showed up at the club one night. That something was pushing me there. Anyway, her brother, he's a fucking asshole.
He is.
Yeah.
Fucking hate that
He
guy.
got all up in my shit. Bouncers. I knocked one guy out. Things started getting a little violent.
Was this before or after?
It was with me already, if that's what you mean.
That is. Well,
But it was before
Okay.
I met her. She showed up and broke it up and pulled me out. There's something big about the two of them. I don't know.
Do you know? Has she shown you anything that she's capable of? She seemed to trust you, and Archie over there said that he really didn't like that you two were hanging out so much.
I think, just to clarify, he's kind of looking at you and he seems like kind of tentative. But I think that like to get him to like really reveal a lot is going to take a convince roll. And so I'm not saying that that's what you're doing right now. I just want to like put that out there for all of you as you're kind of having this conversation, you know? Like you're getting this tentativeness, like he's willing to tell you so much, but he doesn't seem to want to like blow up her spot. Right. And so I think he just kind of like says back to you like, look, last thing I need is to get on either of their bad sides. I don't know what you want me to say here.
I agree. I don't even know why we're even asking him so many questions.
Because she's the ticket to getting the biggie.
Sure, but she's going to be at a fundraiser tonight at the museum. Why don't we just go to that? What do we need
Oh,
him
yeah,
for that?
I saw
Wait,
that too.
what?
Yeah, she's holding a fundraiser. She's huge into philanthropy. Does a lot of charity work. Really into any sort of ecological charities, anything about environmentalism. Which, hey, all for that. Um, Likes the historical art scene, and apparently at the Museum of Historical Preservation, she's having some kind of fundraiser tonight.
Okay.
So
well,
why don't we
that's
just go
good
talk to
know.
her?
Sure. I mean, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for that. I don't really have a tux, you know?
Yeah, we're gonna have to get fucking dressed up
We
again.
gotta stop doing that.
Like, and how the hell are we gonna get into this fundraiser?
I hear people requesting clothes. If anybody out there can do anything about that, I don't know about any of you guys, but I think that he's like, I think he does. He is like, she was talking about that fundraiser for a while. Some, I don't know, archaeological recovery, something. I don't remember, something from Denmark. I think she was really excited about it.
Interesting.
Could you have her get 4 of your new friends on the guest list?
Or
Yeah, who's not going?
Maybe. And again, I think that that's a convince roll to like make it happen. You know.
Well, if he doesn't want to, just ask.
I would try, but I really shouldn't be the one to try.
I was gonna say, I'm looking. I don't think I'm a very convincing person.
I don't know that many of you are very convincing yet.
yeah, I don't have.
Here we are.
The one thing that I have the convinced dynamite on doesn't apply.
Did you find out information about the fundraiser? If you could buy tickets for it? Because typically fundraisers they're not always invite only. Sometimes you can just go with a donation or.
Well, she really likes documentaries and environmentalism. As Nick just turns and looks at Escher, so
But
maybe
we know
can have someone who happens to work on such projects.
But did you find information about the fundraiser? Are there tickets?
I have no idea. As I
Yeah, we the players did not specifically ask for that information.
I only did so much binging this morning. We all have phones.
Somebody whip out their phone and check it out.
Yeah. Which are their tickets?
Yeah, Jonathan, maybe you just
There are tickets, but they're expensive. It's a fundraiser. It's like $100 a head to get in the room.
Iggy, you don't think you'd be able to get us some tickets, do you?
I know I've got $100.
I could.
And don't we have $200 technically? Did the other 100 that you won from the fight
was divvied up?
You went 20 to each of us.
That's
yes.
2 tickets.
I could probably ask Margaret. She might be happy with me to go do something like that.
I like to think that Iggy could find that he's probably got $500 in his bank account.
I mean, me too. Yeah, you have a good
He's
job.
Employed.
Sure.
I mean, he's not. Yeah. I'll buy the tickets.
You sure, Iggy? That feels like a lot.
Okay, no then.
What
do you want me to say?
Do we all need to go? Like, how many of us need to go?
Well, we should stick together, no?
Do you think something's gonna go down?
Well, I mean, if you want us four to go, and you can go on a date with Charlie.
I'm not going on a date with Charlie. That ship has sailed.
I'll go. I'll go on a date with him.
You want to go on a date with Charlie? You have a great time. He is not who I thought he was.
I mean, Kevin or Nick brought up a good point about being a documentary, like I feel like maybe there's something with Escher we could do like a film crew kind of a thing
mean-
where we're here to document the thing and see if we can get.
Jonathan,
So
don't
we're
you
just going to
work,
entirely scam our way into the joint.
don't
Yeah.
you work
Hell
for
yeah,
the
that
press,
sounds fun.
Jonathan? Can't you
I
get
know,
a press
yeah,
pass
that's what
to
I was
cover the
thinking, like,
event?
let's press badge it.
And I could
Yeah.
check and see. Can I, Rich? I don't know how this would work, but can I text my sister to ask if we have any family members or friends of the family who are in this scene who I might be able to connect with
Change-
using Child of Immigrants?
Change the game. If you want to make a
Yes.
change the game move,
You can
absolutely.
make there be family members.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would like
Love
to
it.
try that.
Okay,
Thanks, that's
excellent.
cool.
Excellent. This is totally a thing you can do. So, yeah, Nick, we see you, like, you're able to break out your phone. You're going to text your sister. So, yeah,
Mhm.
what do we got here to make a change the game move to see if your sister can get your hands on tickets?
So I feel like all three of my tags in Child of Immigrants apply here.
Uh,
Oh, and that's great because I'm Dynamite on Change the Game.
Yes. So we're rolling
Sweet.
with Where I Came From. Immigrants Get the Job Done. Caribbean immigrants.
Yes.
Anything else?
I don't think. I mean, not in this case because I think my not a cliche almost works contrary to what this could be.
Mm-hmm.
Although maybe American culture assimilation could help actually because this is a pretty standard.
I'm going to give you
Cultural
that. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like a big, like, cultural event here in the city. I think that's fair.
Cool. All right, so that's 4, and then how does it work? I click the dynamite tag.
Yeah, now just make sure you have the little dynamite stick clicked, right? And then let me see about your weaknesses here. Still in training doesn't matter. Tries too hard, I don't think matters. A lot to live up to? I don't think so. I think this is fun.
Sweet. All right, and then change the game.
So you make it a change the game move, the power of 4. Nice. 9.
Did it work? Oh, let's scroll down. There we go. Sweet.
Still, that's pretty sick. So,
What does dynamite do exactly? Sorry, I forgot again.
if you roll 12 or higher,
Oh, right. If you roll higher, you get like okay, yes.
yep,
Yes.
it opens up like a whole bunch of little options, right? Because the idea here is like we've got a bead now. Whenever we make these moves, it gives us these list of options, right? That we're going to pick from. Like what are the things we want as a response to this, and so it just increases that list, right? It gives you more stuff to kind of work with when you have a really successful roll. But I think to that end, with the power of 4, you're easily able to come up with tickets. Yeah, I mean, you tell me how you want to create them, but you could create a story tag of like 4 tickets. Yep.
Cool. Yeah. I will ask the group. Do we want to just use to have the 4 tickets, but then we're still 1 short? So, or however many tickets we want. Who feels they can get in there anyway? Because I feel like Jonathan can.
I think
right?
I could get in, yeah. Maybe.
Iggy, I'm assuming through catering or something for the event, maybe.
Yeah, actually, I was going to make an investigate roll to see if I could get into the catering crew.
infiltrate the caterers.
I love it.
I love that.
Yep, totally. Okay, cool. So we're going to see Nick here. Is that what you want to do?
And then so I would need 3 tickets, 1 for myself, 1 for Escher, 1 for Lyra,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Cool. So then 3 tickets. And then
Well,
there's still. Oh, go ahead.
Sheldon, you have a press pass? Like, is that a story tag you have a press pass? Or we're just like saying you have a press pass?
Yeah, I could just try a convince roll with some of my. I mean, I just have recording equipment. If she's got 4 tickets, it may be best just to take them and not risk it.
Because, like, solidarity, we could roll up as a media team.
Yeah,
The 2 of us.
that's all. Yeah, we've
Does
got.
that look more legit than 1 person, or does it look sketchier? I don't know.
Somebody's the assistant.
Like an
Yeah.
inherently sketchy looking dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I look so upstanding.
It looks sketchier
and not
only
sketchy
when
at all.
Jonathan in like a grimy trench coat with his phone, like, I'm here to document this. You, at least with the actual equipment, look
I
like
think
Jonathan
maybe
has great
we're
equipment.
approaching from
I'm reading you
multiple
down.
angles at the same time,
Sorry.
which is a thing that our team does.
Okay, so what's
So
the final
maybe
call here?
Jonathan and I attempt the media entry, and Iggy is trying to do is trying to infiltrate the caterers, and then Lyra and Nick are the most presentable among us, and they can show up with actual tickets, like
works
people
for
who
me.
have money.
So then that's 2 power tags. So I have 2 left then.
Yeah.
So it says here, right, to gain the following effect. So I have to burn a
Yeah,
power
you
tag or a
essentially
story
have 2
tag.
juice left. Yeah. No, you can burn a power tag or a story tag. Like when you roll change the game, you could burn somebody else's power tag off, or you could burn a story tag that exists. Like if there were like a story tag of like, I don't know, security, right? That's like preventing you from getting into the event. You could like burn that off, if that makes sense. These are your options, right?
Right.
Like essentially what you're doing here is creating 2 story tags of like tickets, right? Ticket for you, a ticket for her, for Lyra, and then I don't know what else you would want to do with it. You could like theoretically like just talk about other options. Like as you're texting with your sister, she could be like, "Oh, like do you have clothes? Are you bringing a date? What do you need?" Like you could create a story tag of like a limo or like tuxes.
Yeah, what would your family
know?
think if you're going with
Right.
a girl?
I would say not a date.
Just
and
friends.
could use some clothes. So
Okay.
can I get actually along with the clothes, right? Because like it's juice. So is that like a status I could be where it's like sharply dressed or something?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I could do a 2 for that, right? Since I have 2
You
left.
could. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so you're going to give yourself like sharp dressed as a status for when you show up at this event, and you got you and Lyra tickets. Cool. So shifting a little bit, Iggy, you want to try to see if you can get yourself into the catering crew.
Yeah, I was going to roll an investigate check to see if I could figure out like who's in charge of catering.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've tagged gourmet cooking and approach from all angles, so 2.
So 2, the approach from all angles is your crew, is your like library crew. So that's going to get burned. All of you guys should mark that off. We're like using that up now. It's okay. It just
I
get.
didn't know that. I didn't realize it gets burned.
No, use it.
It's fine. Like
Yeah,
that's
go
what
for
they're
it.
there for. They don't get
It's also
permanently
what we're
destroyed.
doing.
Yeah, like they can.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Only one of us can use it. Somebody should use it in this instance.
I'm choosing not to use it because I think I need it for something else.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We can we recover it in
plan.
like geeking out at the credits, right? That's where we get those burn tags back.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Can I
Oh, I missed.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you're
What's that mean?
you're making a roll to try to investigate, and you have missed pretty badly. I just need to like see what I want to do here. I have all these options, right? Like when you guys miss like that, I get to make a hard move against you, and so I have a list of like the options of hard moves I can use against you. I could like turn your move against you. I could give you a status. I could burn one of your tags, and I hate to say it, gosh, I think that's what I have to do. Which did you just use here?
Gourmet cooking.
It doesn't make sense to burn that, though. I think that I think I'm going to burn your attention to detail tag, because I think that like you missed something, right? You end up like kind of finding the company that's doing the catering, and you like contact them like, oh hey, I'm Iggy, and there's a little bit of like a mess up there, and you're like, oh damn it, you're like second guessing yourself and kind of like frustrated. How did I miss this obvious thing? And so, yeah, I think we're going to burn that off. And again, that's the thing you can recover geeking out at the credits or during a montage.
Okay.
It's up to Jonathan
Yeah.
and Escher now.
Okay, so Nick and Lyra have tickets. Nick's gonna end up being able to get himself some sharp clothes. Lyndon is kind of like watching you all. There's a lot of like texting happening with the phone. Meanwhile, Jonathan, you've like probably had to put your phone on silent because Agent Perez is blowing you up.
Ooh, of course.
That's right.
Oh no.
It's a whole lot of like profanity happening. Where the F are you? What the F is happening? What the F? You are not police. Like you need to, where are you? Yeah.
I think Jonathan shows Escher, and he just says, "I'm playing hard to get," and then just like closes it back up.
Yes, I love it.
That face.
This will work out great for us.
So good. That's so good.
Okay.
Okay, so is there anything else happening? Like Lyndon's like standing here like at the door to the refrigerator prison, like kind of
What else do you do with the guy?
Gosh. Yeah, what the hell? What are we going to do with this guy?
He is like, do you want me to like go to this thing with you? I mean, I don't.
I
No.
don't think so. No.
The unison knows.
I know. Synchronized nose. He's like, so should I? You know, and he kind of like looks back into the refrigerator.
I mean, can we like set him up here with like some food or something and like a cot?
I am getting a little hungry.
Like, there's gotta be like a hot dog stand not far, right? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, let's go grab him like a hot dog and some fries or something. So, what? A couple of you guys want to stay here? We'll go grab some food.
Okay.
Is everybody hungry? Want some breakfast hot dogs?
I don't really have an appetite right now.
Yeah,
Fair.
I had coffee, so I'm good.
I'm starving. You guys are crazy.
The ravenous hunger that is Lyra. Just more. Yeah, Lyra like hits the street. You're able to like get some food from her, no problem. I don't know. Is there anything else important happening with the rest of you guys?
Iggy's going to ask Lyndon, so you're going to keep killing people?
Could be a different answer today. You never know.
Question.
I don't want to kill anyone else.
Good.
Is that an answer?
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, sounded like an answer.
I don't want to kill anyone else isn't exactly an answer of I won't kill anyone else. There's a lot of people who don't want to do things and still end up doing it.
That is certainly also true. A good point.
Didn't you say you didn't want to kill those 4 that you already murdered and massacred and left their bodies a mangled mess all over the docks?
Hey. Iggy's going to leave. Just got awkward.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I did say that. You don't understand? Isn't it like that with you? Isn't there something there at the edge pushing you? Driving you to do the things that you never thought you could? You never wanted to?
You know what I do? Try not to listen to it. What's your excuse?
I don't have one. And I guess that's why now I'm locked in a refrigerator.
Yeah. I probably would have had you somewhere else, but guess that decision isn't up to me.
Guess not.
We made a choice as a group. Escher's like not even part of the conversation. They're like standing off to the side, just like
Exasperation.
As Lyra comes back, Nick turns away from Lyndon and walks back.
I was like cradling like a bunch of hot dogs.
Oh.
I got some with like ketchup and mustard, and some with just mustard, and some with just ketchup, and some with some relish and some chili.
Wow.
What do you guys want?
Lyndon's like,
Hot dog
Got
stand.
Chicago style, got New York style, got one with pineapple on it.
chili sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lyndon like, it's like taking hot dogs,
Here, take some for later too, cause like
We may be a while.
Yeah, the party's at
Do you
night.
need like a bathroom break or something?
I mean, that would probably help, sure.
There's gotta be a bathroom around here somewhere, right?
I think it's over there.
Okay, yeah.
Iggy,
Iggy?
It's like a porta john, like it's been abandoned, right?
Figuring out where a bathroom is not the way I want to spend the next 15
No,
minutes
me
of this
either.
game.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
and
fair.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
there is like a room over there. And so, yeah, you like let him into the bathroom. Iggy, what were you saying?
Iggy pretends to get a text. He's like, "Oh, I have to go, guys. I'll see you at the museum tonight." And he
Oh, okay.
walks off around the corner and
Okay.
out of sight.
Good luck.
Cool.
Did he get into the...
Iggy, as you come around the corner, you see like a group of folks like down the street. It's like four.
Oh no, he like literally he walks out of sight and he's back at his
Oh,
apartment.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hop.
Got it.
Well, I guess we need to go get our recording equipment and stuff so we look legit for tonight.
Yeah, and I gotta go home and tell Margaret about going to this fundraiser and get some fancy clothes again.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
I'll meet you with the tickets out in front.
So Lyndon like does
Aw,
his thing.
cute.
He scarfs a bunch
My
of hot
turn.
dogs. Yeah, really.
Fair. I'll take it. I'll
Revenge
take
is
it.
Sweet.
I think Lyndon like scarfs hot dogs. He goes back into the refrigerator. You're able to fill up one of the empty thermoses with water from the bathroom. He's like, well, I guess I'll see you later. Like the door closes on him. Like you guys are all like looking at each other. And so like my question is, do you put the padlock back in the door?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're putting him in the fridge, the idea is we want him to stay there.
I
would
I
agree.
think if we
Yeah.
want him to stay there, we got to put
Yeah.
the thing back on the door.
Azure, could you like text Charlie and ask him to like maybe check on him in the middle of the day or something?
You know what? You text Charlie.
I don't have Charlie's number.
That's easily remedied.
That,
And they like
Azure,
send the
like,
contact information.
All right. Lyra shoots a text to Charlie, and it just says, "Can you check on Crazy Murderer in like the
You
afternoon?"
wrote that in a text message?
Yeah.
Text.
LOL. All lowercase, no punctuation.
Oh man.
And I think you get like a text back a minute later, like, you guys are crazy. All right, is he's still in there?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, and so yeah, okay. He's like, fine.
Good talk.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. PHX.
All right. So we see you like break your separate ways. Yeah. Jonathan is going to get his recording equipment, right?
Yeah.
Asher is going to get their recording equipment. Okay.
Is Jonathan trying to get press passes from the newspaper? How does that...
Good question. You tell me what you want to do, Jonathan. You could like do the same thing where you try to change the game now to like come up with press passes, or you could just try to convince your way in when you get there. Like between
I
the
think
pair of
that's more his style to
Yeah.
use kind of the hustle and bustle to be like, just let us in, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like pretty accurate. Lyra, you're going to talk to Margaret?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that we see Lyra walking into the cast is the name of the studio, right?
Yep.
Okay. And Margaret Fly?
Vi, just Vi.
I'm sorry. I always
Yeah.
want to put the L in, and that's where I
Yeah.
confuse myself. Margaret Vi is there, and I think that there's like a class just kind of letting out, as like you show up. The kind of there's some folks like trailing out the front door, and you hold it for a second and kind of head in, and she's there, sort of like like patting her head with the towel, like drinking from this water bottle, and she's like, oh hey, it's
Hey.
good to see you. What's going on?
Actually, you're gonna love this. I'm going to a fundraiser tonight with my new friends.
Really?
At the Museum of Historical Preservation. And yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna just, it's cool, good people stuff, and yeah, I was just wondering if I could borrow some clothes.
You have been spending a lot of time with those folks.
Yeah, they're cool. They're like good for me and stuff.
I think you're right. I'm glad to see you expanding your horizons. I'm just.
Yeah, they're expanded all right.
I think that she's like, I care about you a lot, Lyra. I want to see you succeed. There's more for your life than just being here, doing this or that when it comes up. You should want big things for yourself.
Yeah, I think I do. In some form or another.
Well, good. And I think that she's like walking kind of towards the back of the room, and you hear like the crinkling of almost like plastic that like. And she turns around and is holding this enormous basket that's like got the like kind of clear plastic like shrink wrap with like a bow at the top of it, and there's a card. And she like walks over and is like, "This came for you."
Oh.
Okay.
Rejection.
Do you mind if I like go upstairs?
No, of course. She's like handing
Okay.
it over to you.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna go upstairs and like open it in private.
Okay, so she gets upstairs and like goes in the room. You put the basket down, and as you're looking in it, it's got like muffins and like fruit and like all of this kind of like food stuff in it. There's like teas and stuff like this, like English breakfast tea, all this kind of stuff. And you go to open the card, and you see that like the envelope is not sealed, and you like slip the card out, and it says like Lyra, like dash, and then there's just like the subject in the middle of the kind of card is like you're a very assertive person. Our meeting was tense, but I could use people like you. I'd like to offer you a job opportunity. You should call me if you want to make more out of your life than sleeping on your friend's couch at a rundown acrobatic studio. Archibald Erastus.
This motherfucker sent me a fruit basket. Are you
Where's my
serious?
fruit basket?
Are you
I know. Where's the rest of
serious?
us? I'm like,
Muffins
oh man,
and
he's reaching out
tea?
individually.
Are you kidding me right
You
now?
were the one you were hiding from him. I was open with him. He didn't.
Oh my goodness.
Also, as someone
Oh.
who personally just slept on somebody's couch to hang out at their acrobatic studio, essentially, I am
Ooh.
personally deeply
You
offended
should be. I'm trolling you.
by actual literal life.
I'm hard
The
trolling
hatred.
you.
All right, so she starts like ripping apart this basket. Like she grabs the trash can and starts ripping it apart, and like going through it, like seeing if there's
There's
checking
probably
to
like
see
a
if there's
bug
any,
or
like,
something in
weird
it.
stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
a
like
tracking device or something.
yeah, so
Yeah.
there is some weird stuff in there. Nothing like like real weird, inappropriate or weird.
Right,
But like
right.
there's like like kind of like all these like pink oranges and like ugly fruit grapefruits and all these like really kind of rare fruits. There's a pomegranate in there, like prickly pears. It's all this like very kind of esoteric, sort of high end, like fancy like fruits and stuff. And the like muffins are like, multi-grain, like super health nut kind of muffins, and these like fancy teas. It's very, very expensive stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think she dumps all into like a grocery bag or something and like throws the actual like basket away.
I just see like the crunched basket kind of like sitting like where it doesn't really fit in the garbage can. It's like one of those things,
right.
you know what I mean? Like
she takes the garbage bag out of the garbage can, shoves it in.
yeah.
And then she goes back downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's all like flustered and pissed. She goes outside and like I'm assuming there's like somewhere that they like a dumpster or something they throw garbage in. She goes, tosses the basket and the garbage bag in there, and it's hanging onto the fruits.
And I think that you hear this like voice from behind you. You turn around. It's this moment of like Lyra's in the alley, right? Like the dumpster kind of closes, kang, and you're holding the bag. And like Margaret is standing at the back door to the studio, and she's like, "You should call him. You know that I would give you a job here if I could afford to give you a job, but this is not a life. There's no."
You don't know
here.
who he is.
He's one of the richest people in the city.
I don't give a shit. He's a scumbag. You haven't met him.
You've met him?
Oh.
Maybe.
Well,
I told you I was going to the club the one night. Club, he was there.
Oh. Is that what he meant? I've read the letter. I read the letter.
Yep.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It was open. I didn't break any of the seals. It was open, and I just was curious.
It's a fruit basket.
I was excited somebody was taking interest in you. When I realized it was a job opportunity. I'm just saying, Lyra, I can't give you a life here. You can't.
I don't care. I'll figure it out.
I know you
I'm
don't.
not like selling my soul. You don't understand.
I'll
like
support
this guy.
you with whatever you do. I just want to see you reach for bigger things and not settle on this.
I'm not going to just settle.
Okay. I'm not trying to hurt you.
I know. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm really appreciative for you letting me stay here and like borrow clothes and shit, but like yeah, I'm not like selling my soul to the devil for this. Like
I think you're being a little dramatic, and I think
sure.
And I think that like the scene kind of fades.
Cut to Iggy responding to Erastus's email.
Okay.
Saying,
yes.
When can we talk?
Oh my god.
I
love it.
Yes.
I'll be at the fundraiser tonight if we want to cross paths there. Send.
Send message.
And I think that it's like not long that you received the reply like this is excellent news. Archibald will be there and he looks forward to providing you with this proposal.
Kiss, kiss, send.
Hashtag business dealings. Hashtag
Chef's
chefy life.
Hashtag legitimate businessman. Hashtag.
Exactly.
There was a number?
Yeah.
Was it? I guess I don't know if I could tell if it was like a cell number or something.
You ripped up the card, right? Like you specifically were like, didn't you just rip everything up and throw it out? Do we see like Lyra going back to the garbage can like?
Only because she wants like kind of a big like F you. But no, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But she does like I will say she does like take the fruit. And there's time, right, between like
you have the whole day.
Now the fundraiser. So she's gonna find the homeless guy.
Okay.
And give him the fruit.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. We see like Lyra, like we cut from Iggy hitting send to like Lyra getting out of a cab, looking around the docks. We see the boats out on the water, right? It's kind of like a gray, dreary day, and Lyra starts like walking around until, yeah, you see the homeless guy. Let's call him Fred. I think that's what we called him last time. And yeah,
Fred or Frank?
yeah, it might have been
Yeah,
Frank.
it's Fred or Frank.
Yeah.
I
one of them.
definitely have it somewhere.
I do too.
I do too. Um,
Homeless guy's name is Fred.
Did I get it? I got it, right?
Yeah,
See, I had it
Fred.
right here. So I think that, yeah, I think you come like walking to the alley, you know, and Fred's like sleeping, you know, like, and like, yeah.
She like doesn't want to scare him, but she doesn't want to wake. It's just she like kicks his foot a little bit. Hey, hey,
Oh, hey,
hey, what's up?
hey,
Hungry? Want some breakfast?
yeah. He's like, yeah, yeah.
Here you go. Take it. So there's like muffins and shit.
What is this garbage? You know, I think he's like, he's like,
Yeah,
digging
that's what I
through the
said.
fruit, you know what I mean? I thought you had like an egg sandwich or something.
Would kill for an egg sandwich. Yeah, I don't know. Just yeah.
Well, thanks.
Yep. You're welcome. And she turns around and leaves.
Okay. And so,
And she's going back to like the studio because she needs to get clothes and stuff.
okay, and so we're gonna cut from Lyra, I think, to Jonathan, as you're like kind of in your apartment gathering your recording equipment.
Yeah, and it's not in a nice like hardcover Pelican case or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like a soft bag with a broken zipper that he's just like
Yeah.
flips open and yeah, gets his like little his camera and gets a nice lanyard with his like local TV news emblem on it so that he can at least flash that.
Okay.
And I think he looks in. He doesn't have like a big full length mirror, but it's just like something shiny that he kind of looks at, and he just like smooths out his hair and kind of gives himself a little wink before heading out.
That's excellent. And I think as you like get to the door, you've got your little like bag, right? The kind of camera and stuff we can see like into it, the busted zipper, you know. And I think it's one of these like you're reaching for the doorknob and we hear like bzz, bzz, as your phone like buzzes again. And yeah, you like grab the phone to like check it, and yeah, it's from an unknown number, and it just says, I want to revisit our conversation from the club. You should contact me. AE.
This guy will not shut up.
No, he's a
And
jerk.
then I think Jonathan just texts back, "Who is this?" ?
The journalist, the investigative journalist.
And then he just sits, just like kind of waiting for a response.
Journalist gets it on the record. They don't just make assumptions.
Yeah.
They need facts.
That's so good.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good. And I think that the text comes back like, it's Archibald. You've agitated Agent Perez rather severely, from my understanding. The mayor says that the task force is looking for all of you.
Okay. So I think Jonathan is going to just kind of avoid it and try to go back around and then just be like, "Archibald, good to hear from you, buddy. Listen, got a busy day today. Would love to circle back on this later. Absolutely, we'll chat."
And then I guess he just like he responds back one last time like, I feel like I have answers that you're looking for. There's danger in this city for people like us.
You're telling me. Says, look, I want to hear those answers. Like I said, got one thing tonight, but yeah, we'll talk.
Don't wait too long, is the like response. Okay. And so I think that then like we cut to Nick.
Mm-hmm.
As Nick,
Mm-hmm.
you're like going to meet with your sister, right, to pick up these
Mm-hmm.
tickets and get the clothes and stuff.
Yes.
And so I think like you've got the tickets, right? You've got the clothes, like you've got all this stuff. And I think that your sister is just like, what have you been doing anyway? I'm glad to see that you're going to this tonight, but is this why you're never around? Mom and Dad, they're getting frustrated. It's been weeks, Nick. You haven't seen them.
I mean, sort of. Yeah, it's complicated.
Complicated's not an answer. It's an excuse.
Yeah, I know. I just there's a lot happening right now, and I mean, who am I kidding? You know that I barely came by a lot as it is, right? It's just tough. Every time I go over there, it's always the same conversations. How's work going? Where is my life headed? The same stuff over and over again. You can only do so much of it, Sam.
And I think that she's just like, it doesn't make a difference. We're all that they have. You can't just keep ignoring them. It only makes it worse. Every time that you don't stop by just feeds into all of their nagging. And not for nothing, I don't even remember the last time I saw you. I'm happy to help. I'm glad that I was able to call a favor in from a friend. But is this all I'm good for to you?
Oh, no. No. You're not like it's different with you, and I feel bad that we haven't got to talk. There's just a lot happening. There is work, but there is other stuff. I mean, yeah, I've got, let's say, friends that I'm hanging out with, which is great, but I do regret that we don't get to talk. But I mean, that's what texts are for, right? It's the modern era.
That's bullshit. She's like, that's a bullshit excuse. I mean, sure, I'm glad that we can stay in touch, but you're my brother. You don't forget where you came from, Nick. Like, we've been through a lot. Our family has been through a lot. There's a lot of hopes pinned on you. You know how Dad feels.
Yeah, yeah. Look, what day is today, by the way?
I think now I think it's Saturday today. I think it was Friday night last night at the Fight Club.
Look, I'll tell Mom and Dad I'll come by on Tuesday. At least I should have an earlier shift. After work, I can come by and we can have dinner. And you should come by too, so I can come see them.
I'll be there, but I'm not going to tell them because I don't want to be the one that lies to them if something comes up between now and then. If I were you, I think that you should call. But fair enough.
It's fair.
Have a good
It's very
time
fair.
tonight with your not date. You're gonna.
It's not.
I know. I'm not them, but also.
But it could
And I think that she's like, you're gonna look really good in that suit.
That's right.
I appreciate you getting this for me and the tickets and talking to who I'll just say it's like a family friend.
Mhm.
I appreciate the help, Sam. I'll have to tell you about all of this one day, but today's not the day. I gotta run, but
You're making it sound like you're in the middle of an action movie. Good luck.
as the Nick Lassen was like, wouldn't that be something, right? Live in the movies.
Ha ha ha.
She's like, you did always love them.
Yeah, well, we got to fit in somehow, huh?
Stupid Captain Fantastic 3. I hated that. And so yeah. I guess we see you like get back into like the cab or whatever and taking off. And so with that, I think we cut to like the last one. Escher, as you're back at your apartment, kind of getting your documentary stuff together. What does that look like?
It's not that much.
Mhm.
in the current day and age, you got a good phone, it's called a gimbal,
Mhm.
which is like a stabilizing device. You stick your phone in that and you can make a movie. That's all it really takes. You put a microphone on it, you call it a day.
Mhm.
That stuff can fit in a shoulder bag, no problem. But like dressed in all black,
Mhm.
which they would be anyway, but you got to wear like your
Fancy
set
black.
blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, your don't look at me, I'm making art blacks. And there's probably like a notebook
Mhm.
with like a bunch of scribbles of whatever their idea for this documentary is going to be, and also, no, that's it. That's all it really is.
Okay.
There's nothing super fancy about it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not that hard anymore.
I got it.
You have like a beret that sits on top of your mane of
No.
beautiful hair.
No beret.
No beret. No.
Uh,
If anything, it's like a beanie, and it's like flat, and then it's like.
yeah, there's a whole
Yes.
explosion happening, right?
Yeah.
I think that as you're getting your stuff together and like you see your laptop like sitting there on the coffee table open or whatever, there's like a wall of emails that you seem to have
God.
received.
I mean, always. I am an inbox 0 person. Escher is like an inbox 1,000,000 person.
That sounds relatable. That's like way too relatable. I
I
mean,
don't know. I
was
don't know
like,
anything
yeah,
about it.
my
I'm
inbox
anxious
is
just
never
thinking
zero.
about it.
I think I'm at 514.
Oh, stop.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm also a 0 email person.
Okay,
Same.
so
Don't make
Escher
me
has a
think about
wall of emails. Zed is full of anxiety about them.
Yeah,
What's up?
let's not stress Zed's like
Anxiety.
freaking out. Like, oh my god, I'm working with chaos
I'm like
people.
mentally clicking them all open by like Zed is opening all these emails that don't exist.
Yeah.
So I
Sheldon,
think
so many tabs.
as Asher heads over there, and like it's click on like one of the emails. I think that like for the past like 3 days or so, Asher has been receiving this influx of kind of like documentary opportunities and like grant opportunities,
right.
like
Yeah.
all this kind of like money. And I think that is like Asher like sits down and kind of looks again at like these emails. It's like a wall of them. There seem to be like somewhere in the range of like 20 of them. And this is like madness, right? Like I imagine Asher's life is like very much like chasing for like funding to like get a lot of these projects done. And there's like this blitz of opportunities that has like come at them. And I think like what's the project that they've been like dying to like get done? What's like their kind of white whale?
It was a climate change thing
Right.
that I've been working on and trying to make happen for a while.
Right. And so I think like as you're going through them, you finally you hit the one like all the way at the top that just came in this morning. And it's just like it's straight up. It's from
Lucrative documentary opportunity.
Yeah, it's from
Squiggle star.
Squiggle Star. It's from Erastus.
Apostrophe 0.
It's from Erastus Enterprises, and I think that it's just like explicitly says, like Escher, I hope that you've received the offers that I directed your way in the past days. I think that your work is very important, and the project you've been working on related to climate change could be a critical thing for the people in this city who seem to almost be sleeping through the reality of what's happening to the world around us. Your project can happen. Contact me. The funding is there. Archibald Erastus.
So slimy.
Yeah, he's gross. And Escher does not consider it for a second.
Okay,
They're like,
it's just the
"No,
immediate like, ugh.
Absolutely. Yeah, like shut the computer.
The laptop slams
Yeah.
closed and like
Yeah.
goes into the shoulder
We're
bag.
gonna have to
and, like,
delete that email later, but right now we're not even
Yeah,
gonna
we're
look
just
at
gonna
it and like push the
compartmentalize
computer
that.
like across the coffee table.
Yeah.
Like moving on with life. That's like, what does this guy think? He's like threatening our lives, and now he wants to like offer me money to make my movie, and that's just gonna go well for me. Yeah, okay.
Did he threaten your lives? Or is that a perception?
Did he not?
I don't know. I'm
I
asking.
don't know.
I think it might be just a perception.
A lot of people have.
A lot of people have. We have that impact
People
on
have.
people.
It's hard to keep track. I didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
he didn't
a
threaten
cue.
my life. I guess I've never met the guy.
Yeah, exactly. He just wants to give you money to make your dream happen.
Sure.
That's
sure.
so-
No strings attached. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah.
Like Escher's saying these things like out loud.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Pacing around the apartment.
Yeah, like running around the apartment, like throwing stuff in a bag and like having a drink and like throwing more stuff in a bag and just like, soliloquizing.
Yeah, sure.
Soliloquizing,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh boy, I don't know what the verb of that word is.
Wow.
A soliloquy is happening around their apartment, just like berating, Erastus in particular, capitalism in general. Like, they're not having a good day.
Okay, cool. So yeah, is there anything else that I need to like address here before we're regrouping?
I will ask if Nick gets contacted, but it seems like no. Thus far.
No,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
he hasn't yet. Nope, he hasn't. Not yet. Okay, cool. So yeah, it is that evening. Are you all meeting together beforehand, or you're all just showing up at the museum, at the Met?
Yeah, I told Lyra I would meet her in front of the museum.
Yeah, and I think Jonathan and Escher meet up, but I don't think with the rest of the crew.
No.
Okay, excellent.
We don't know them.
So
Where's Iggy
Night
once
We
again?
are strangers.
So I think that we see like Jonathan and Escher, the pair of you like kind of meet around the corner of the Metropolitan Museum of Historical Preservation, and there's like it's this big old, very kind of sprawling sort of building that takes up like a huge kind of footprint on the block, right? The like kind of big stairs heading down to the street, and there's all manner of like the fancy black cars kind of pulling up, and people in all manner of like fancy attire kind of pouring out of them, making their way in. But yeah, the two of you come like walking up to each other around the corner of the building.
Got my camera. Looks like you got yours too. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be so easy.
Famous
Oh
my
first
goodness.
words.
Yeah, he looks around. Is there just like one entrance where everyone's heading in, or is there like kind of
Is
a
there
side
a red
entrance?
carpet at all? Is there a step and repeat? There's a step and repeat.
Yeah.
There's got to be a step piece.
Yeah, there definitely is. Yeah, there's definitely like a red carpet thing like happening through the front, right? There's there's like people taking pictures and stuff, but there are service entrances around the back, I think we see like a security guard by like an exit on the side of the building, kind of where you are, and I think we see like a couple of catering trucks like parked a little bit further down the street, like people kind of bringing stuff into like a loading dock. The truck's not like backed up to the dock, but they're like taking stuff out of the back and kind of like putting it into the loading dock or whatever. Loading dock doors are open. Yeah, and there's a couple of like security standing there as well. Like the exits all seem to be covered. So yeah, what do you guys want to do?
What do you think? Do we stand at the front and take pictures at the step and repeat for a while, or do we make a spectacle of ourselves, or do we like sneak attack?
I mean, I kind of like the idea of like getting in in the step and repeats, because then we can kind of blend in with everyone. And if we do see her show up, we could message our friends to just be like, hey, we have eyes on her, she's in. I mean, if that is to say, if she's not already inside, but
Oh, she's
yeah,
got to make an entrance, right? This is a woman
real.
who screams, "I'm making an entrance."
Mm-hmm.
that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. It's true. So that's what you guys want to do. You want to go around to the front and kind of like linger around the step and repeat. Okay.
Yeah, sidle up.
Yeah, so I think that gosh, to like get into the press area, like I'm sure there's going to be like a security dude. There's somebody in like a black suit. I think we see this kind of like tall woman with like the hair like kind of tied up in a bun, and she steps forward like, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to see your credentials.
And yeah, Jonathan flashes her his like little city news badge.
She's like, I don't. She's like got like a clipboard or something, or probably like a tablet, and she's like, like, what did you say the organization?
And he's like, look, it's not my usual beat either. I might not be on there. They just gave me my thing. They told me to come down and film this tonight. Look, like the two of us are just here. We're just supposed to film. Can you let us in?
I think this is going to be a convince roll.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, to have her let you in, and I don't know if you want to do anything to like help her set him up, Escher.
I'm trying to look at what I got.
Don't...
Jonathan, I have a help point I can use.
Okay.
And I think I'll like have my like film, like my phone, like in the gimbal, like set up ready to go with like the notebook out. So like I have my props essentially to like make it all look more legit. Yeah, so I can like give him the help point.
Yeah,
right?
basically the help point is like a special juice that you get to burn, right? So you want to burn that to like create a story tag of like press props.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Because like if I was rolling this, I would use. I have a power tag of filmmaking equipment, but like Jonathan's definitely doing the convincing, and I am just trying to uphold the scam.
But I think that adds depth to it. Like if you are there like looking like you're legitimate.
Oh yeah.
Right. This was the plan.
Yeah.
Exactly. That there are more than one of us and we're like a team definitely officially doing a thing.
Absolutely. It definitely does. So you tell me, what do you want to call the story tag you're creating here?
I mean, I guess it's it's like not
news.
Action news. I mean, it's props in the sense of the scam, but it is like legitimately like filmmaking equipment.
Of course. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll create the story tag of like filmmaking equipment. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, Escher is like giving you this like this story tag to add, and what are you pulling on?
I think I've got two power tags that really make sense. One is the recording equipment, just to show that like we like she was saying,
Same
like we
idea.
have as much. And then the other one would be like a crime scene photographer. So it's more that's leaning on like the studio itself. So I think one is the equipment, and then the other one is like studio legitimacy of like, look, I work for like somebody legitimate that would be here.
Established entity.
Okay, I dig it. So that's 2 right there, plus 1 for the story tag that you're getting. So you're going to roll with the power of 3 to convince.
Right. Okay. Power 3, convince.
8. Okay, excellent. That's a mild success. So essentially, this is the same deal, right? Where you're kind of like threatening her with the status to see like either she's going to do what you want or what happens.
Or I can get somebody else higher involved. I think look, I can make a scene and call over more security and like embarrass you because I am from a news network, but I just want to get in there. Like, let's make it easy. I don't want to make a scene. You don't want me to make a scene.
Okay, and so the idea is because this isn't like a big hit, they can choose to either take the status or to give in a little bit to protect their own agenda. And so their agenda is like to like make sure they're doing their due diligence. So I think that they're like, fine. You two can like get in the line, take your pictures here at the step and repeat, but I need to double check your credentials before I'm going to be able to let you in the building.
Yeah, fine.
Sure. We'll definitely come back.
Yeah, get yourself like set up right over there between,
wink.
No winking. Stop winking.
No.
Okay, and so we see the kind of 2 of you make your way in with your gear and like get situated, and and like people kind of like are arriving, and there's all sorts of like, oh yeah, it's like the local news anchor, it's this one, it's that one, and I think that like we fade away, the camera kind of tilting as we take in Nick and Lyra where they're meeting.
Yeah, I think Lyra's like walking up like to meet Nick, and she has found this. I think it's like the one strap, like black, like kind of long, straight, like kind of like evening gown type situation. With like a clutch, And there's definitely like a piece of fruit in the clutch. And she's kind of grumbling because, she looks nice and she doesn't like it.
Nick definitely says, like, hey, you look nice.
Thanks. Don't mention it, please.
Nick looks
Sorry,
sharp.
I already did.
Hey, you don't look so bad yourself.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I don't mind dressing up. Looks not bad.
Yeah.
Don't mention it. Also very awkward about it.
So I guess we're going in here.
Oh,
What
yeah,
are we gonna do?
Got your ticket. I mean, I'm gonna try and look for Anastasia, I guess.
Yeah, do you want to split up? Should we stick together?
Yeah, let's split up, see if we can cover more ground.
Sure.
Okay, excellent. So the pair of you, are you like come in, and yeah, I think that there's a beat. Let me just check on Iggy. Iggy, when will you arrive?
Iggy's arrives like 90 minutes before the opening of the fundraiser, and is looking for the service entrance.
Okay, so I think that we like cut to the flashback, right, as we see Iggy 90 minutes ago showing up at the back, yeah, where the service entrance is. You find it pretty easily.
Are there? Well, I should say he's looking for wherever caterers or crew or staff are going in and out.
Yep,
I guess.
Got it. And so there's like a loading dock around the corner, like the same kind of door that Jonathan and Escher were near. And I think the loading dock is open, and there's like a catering van parked next to it. And I think that like as you're like walking up, you hear somebody kind of like yelling on a cell phone, like, "God damn it, we're missing like 2 of the trays of asabuco. You got to get the second van down here now." He's yelling. "This tiramisu, it's fucked. I don't know who covered this, but it's all mashed. Make sure that you load it other way." He's some
Not
chef,
the
like,
tiramisu.
yelling about stuff.
Not the tiramisu.
And as you glance over, Iggy, you see like there's like a little like kind of staircase leading up to like a regular kind of entry door next to the loading dock, and there's like a security kind of guy looking like leaning there smoking a cigarette next to the door. Looks like staff is kind of out here, a cluster of like museum folks and like probably like usher's garb, also maybe like smoking outside before the event starts. Yep.
Iggy just walks in.
Okay. I think that you have to make maybe a sneak around roll to do that.
He's not sneaking.
I know, but I think that it's less about like you literally like making a stealth roll or something as like, nope, this is where I'm supposed to be, and you're just gonna like walk in without getting bothered.
It's almost more like a performance check.
It
in
is.
D&D, of like, are you fitting in to the crew?
It is, and you have, I think, things to like help you do this. I think you have a lot of things to like help you do this, but.
Not really. I guess he would choose gourmet cooking again because he's dressed in his chef's garb.
Uh-huh.
I thought chefs and caterers look nothing alike.
Well, he's actually chefing. He's not catering.
I see. Okay.
That's really it. But also the weakness tag of performance anxiety. Then,
well,
so
I would
they
give you. I would potentially give you surprise from. Or what about the first one of that thing? Teleportation.
No. He's walking in.
Okay. Okay. Go for it. So we're rolling with gourmet cooking, but you have performance anxiety as well, so you're just rolling a straight roll. That's a miss. Okay. So as you like walk in, you kind of like walk up and you go to like step past the security person. Hang on one second. And I think the security person is just like What are you doing? Where are you going?
I am going to the kitchen. I have some ossobuco to prepare.
And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure. It's just down this way. Here, I'll show you." And he steps in and is like leading you in, and you kind of like walk down the hallway, and you turn, and there's like, halls leading in a couple of places. You hear the hustle and bustle happening in the kitchen. A couple of the other caterers like out kind of in front of you, and as you turn around the corner, I think you hear this voice from behind you, like, "Son of a bitch, where's Keely?" And you turn around and it's Agent Perez.
Oh no!
Why? Why is she here?
And she's just like,
She's here.
she's just like, "You're a friend of
Higher
his,
security.
aren't you?"
This lady.
You're
Oh
Iggy.
man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Vic. I go, I'm sorry, do I know you?
And the security guy is like looking like, is everything okay, Agent? And she's like, "It's fine. I'll take him from here." And he's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Get back to the door." And he's like, "Okay." And he's like kind of looking back and forth between the two of you, and like kind of just gives you one last look. His like brow furrows a little bit as he turns and heads back for the door. And yeah, this sort of like tough looking like Latina woman. She's got like this long black hair tied up in this like ponytail down her back. She's wearing like, the kind of black suit or whatever, the like holster you can kind of see underneath her like blazer, and she comes walking up to you and she's like, "I'm Senior Special Agent Perez. I'm in charge of the mayor's task force investigating the murders. I got a text last night from your friend Jonathan Keeley. Your name is Iggy?"
Yes.
"Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know me, but that's who I am. And your friend told me that you found the murderer."
I did say that.
You want to
I
tell me
haven't
what...
seen him in a couple days, so I don't know if he's found anybody. I look. Sorry, I don't know.
You
I
haven't seen him in a
can't
couple
help.
of days?
Like a day.
I think that she's like, "I think that you're full of shit, and I think that you and your friends were out there running around in the docks after we picked you up, or them up, down there anyway, and I need to know what's happening."
Well, he should be here, so just keep your eyes peeled. Can I head to the kitchen now, please? I actually have some food to prepare for the guests tonight. I mean, I don't mind you questioning me when I'm not working.
You're working on this?
I look down at my chef's garb and look at her.
And I think that she's like, "Call him.
Excuse me?
I need you to call him."
Do you have a phone?
"Yes. He won't answer my calls."
I don't have my professional chefs don't carry their phone.
It's bad for the food,
Yeah.
the microwaves.
Okay, I call him. But I also am like very mindful that I'm using like a hand that's facing away from her, so she doesn't pull like snatch the phone out of my hand while I'm trying to call him or something.
Yeah, you like
So
turn and like whatever. Okay,
I call him.
okay, okay. 90 minutes ago, you got a phone call, John. This is weird. So the phone rings. It's Iggy.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, hang on 1 second. What do you want me to say to him?
He's coming here tonight.
Yeah.
Tell him that I need to talk to him.
Oh boy.
Agent Perez is here at the museum, and she wanted me to let you know that she needs to talk to you, even though I've already told her that you'll be here later, and she can talk to you then.
Great, that's great. No more info. I'm trying to ghost her to play hard to get,
Okay, I'll let her know.
Oh, no, don't let her know that.
No, I mean, yeah.
Keep wanting more, you know.
Yes. I love this relationship that's blooming.
Everyone is hooking up by the end of the
know
series.
what's happening.
And Iggy hangs up.
I can't believe Nightbot's failing the actual spammer. This is really, I need to like, I
Yeah,
need to
come
deal
on,
with this
Nightbot. Leave us alone.
You have
Do your
one
job.
and it's not to harass.
You have one job.
It's not to
Not
harass
antagonizing our
subs.
friends,
Yeah.
including me.
Jeez, Nightbot, screw this guy.
We don't want to be famous.
And so I think that she's just like, I've got my eye on you. You and all your friends. You're in the middle of all of this somewhere. I know you are. Don't get yourself killed.
Excuse me?
She says, don't get yourself killed. We can help you if you tell us the truth.
Okay. And Iggy like guesses what direction the kitchen's in.
You can kind of tell, right? Like you hear
Heads
people, and
up.
so you turn and like head down the hall, and like she's just kind of standing there watching you go, right? So yeah,
He like walks down, like he turns right at the T junction, and there's like a pause, and you see him then walk back the other way because he went that direction.
Cool. So we flash back, and yeah, Escher, Jonathan, you're like taking pictures. The people are coming up, and I think that you see like Nick coming up like the red carpet to like enter the event, as it were. And as you kind of look down, I think you could see Lyra like a little bit further back down the stairs behind like another group of people as they're kind of coming in separately. And there's maybe like, you know, some awkward beats. I don't know if like you guys are getting your pictures taken.
I will get my picture taken.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we take too many photos of Nick, like an embarrassing amount. Like he keeps
Speak for
wanting
yourself.
to leave. I want to keep taking. I'm like, no, one more.
And yeah, I'm trying to indicate to Jonathan as I'm walking, like, text me that later.
Real good.
Good profile picture.
Okay, cool. And so, yeah, I think as like Lyra then is like coming through, we're having like a similar dynamic of like Lyra coming up behind like this other.
I
group.
think Lyra is like, she has no idea what to do, so she like pauses and does like a quick like pose, and then like tries like run away. She has no idea what's happening.
What do I do with my hands? Where do
What do
I do?
Just run.
Just shuffle away.
Okay, and so like I think it's just like few moments after like Lyra's like not quite inside, like Nick's sort of like just at the door heading in. Lyra's like kind of shuffling away from the cameras as like this like kind of stretch Escalade pulls up, and you know, these like driver jumps out and like kind of opens the door to the back, and out comes Anastasia Erastus. You recognize her, this kind of like long kind of flowing red hair cascading down around her back over her shoulders, and like this very sort of over the top kind of green evening gown, jewelry, the whole deal, right? Like there's all kinds of like pomp and fanfare as she's coming. There's like a security person kind of following her as she makes her way up the stairs, and she's very like, she's smiling and like waving, she's stopping, she's like greeting people on her way up. And yeah, and I think that like as she's kind of coming through this red carpet thing, yeah, Asher and Jonathan, you have like a moment here where you're taking pictures of her. And she like pauses and like kind of tilts her head a little bit and like smiles at you, and kind of like, I think that there's like a wave of some recognition to the pair of you when she sees you standing there together, and she's like, are you two coming in?
Yeah, gotta take pictures of the whole event, you know.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. Yes, we are. We will be doing that. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to see you. Are your friends here?
Yeah, there's there are people milling about inside.
Good. Well, come and find me. And yeah, and then also Anastasia, Miller Hastis, where's your boyfriend?
Who are you wearing?
Yeah.
Who are you wearing?
I think that there's
Yes.
a lot of that, and I think that there.
What's inside your purse? That's derogatory.
I think like Jonathan definitely like knows the people, but like the grimy paparazzi people that are like hearing this line and they're like, Anastasia, where's your boyfriend? You've been seen 12 times over the last 3 weeks. Where is he? Where's your man? Are you single? Are you eligible? There's like a lot of like yelling about this kind of stuff, and she's kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like yeah. And sort of like heads in, dismissing all these paparazzi or whatever. So, Lyra, Nick, the pair of you have like made your way into the place. And like, you're in like the big open kind of entry area to the museum, and there's all these kind of like signs. And I think there's a bunch of like posters that are on like, the poster board kind of things, the sandwich boards as they were, of this magnificent looking bow and arrow, and it's just like new discovery out of Denmark, oldest bow and arrow discovered, like preserved in an archaeological dig. Expectations that it outdates the pieces found in Holmgard, 12,000 years old, all this kind of stuff. And so you realize this is kind of like the centerpiece. It's like this archaeological dig that kind of happened in Denmark, and this particular like bow and arrow were retrieved that have this incredible like kind of historical value. And there's a whole sort of presentation of like the other artifacts that were like found in this thing, but this is like the marquee centerpiece that like this might be like the oldest bow discovered in preserved condition like this.
I don't think. I'm trying to think if I would recognize it, even just having.
I know.
I'm just like running through my head, and I'm
I
like,
saw like your face light up, and I was like, "What? I don't know what is going on,"
For a
but you
half a
seem to be
second.
connecting dots.
I mean, for a half moment, I'm like, is this Gilgamesh? But but I'm not positive. Any hoodly, is there an open, or is there a bar?
Yeah, there's definitely like a bar somewhere. Yeah.
Because going to the bar first to get a drink.
Okay.
Oh
And
boy,
then
you
Nick
drink a
will
lot in this game.
We do.
start. Yeah, we do. Starts. Well, it's a tough life. Start searching.
Some long days.
Yeah.
Start searching for Anastasia, but we'll also cut through, if the museum is open, any part that does have like ancient Indian artifacts, before also going to check out the bow at a certain point. But that would be the route Nick will be taking.
I think that you realize, like, I think, like, you hear people, like, it's a very
Sorry,
drinkable
Kevin.
city.
In the chat.
It's a very drinkable city, Pia. You're right. The neon, you know?
That's me.
Oh, that was Sheldon.
Was it? I can't read at all.
That's being Sheldon. No, you can't read Adam. Oh boy.
I've had such a good
Shut
flow.
it down.
There is a Pia in there.
Talk
Pia's in
about
the chat.
Pia's in the chat. I know.
Yes,
Pia's always,
yes.
He's always in the chat.
Yeah.
Gotcha, Zen.
Oh man. Okay.
That's very good, Sheldon. It really is. It's a very drinkable city. It really is. It's gonna be your next crew theme, like booze. Next power attack.
Yes.
I meant to.
Boozy bros.
Lubricated.
Lubricated.
And so,
No.
I gotta go.
Sorry.
I hope you all had a good time.
Sorry.
Thank you for coming.
I overstepped dramatically. Nick, I think
Yes,
that
sorry.
you do see like the wing of like all of these there is like a wing of all this kind of like like Indian like artifacts and stuff like this. And as you kind of step into it and you're like taking it in, there's some people like kind of milling around the area, though it's not like as crowded here as it is over by the main like exhibit, right? But I think there's a moment as like you're coming in and you're looking and you see there is probably like this big tapestry like behind glass and like lit, the whole deal. And it is literally this like towering kind of like blue skinned woman, right? With many arms holding many weapons. And there is a whole like kind of like little plaque next to it, as in front of her is this like massive buffalo with like fire kind of rolling out of his nose. And we're talking about like the water buffalo, not like the North American bison, to be clear, right? And yeah, we could see that there's like fire rolling out of its nose and around its hooves, and that actually, there's a tiger that the woman is like riding on, and it goes into like a whole kind of discussion really about Durga and Mahashasura, and that how like Durga was created to battle Mahishasura. That Mahishasura was like this entity who kind of through like great acts of kind of perseverance and tenacity was able to kind of petition for this gift from the gods, and that he asked for immortality, and they told him like, well, we can't give you that. And so he merely then requested that he would have the power to never be defeated by any man or any god, and thus Durga was born, this goddess of war and strength and protection, right?
Yeah, Nick is definitely taking it in while having his drink, reading up on all of that too, and informing himself, since he only knew bits and pieces and learned as much as he could from his parents before the fight. But he's definitely like looking at it like, imagine, I guess, Cameron in Ferris Bueller, like that moment of just being lost in,
Cameron.
Transfixed.
in this image.
Transfixed. And so we see in her hands, like she's holding this like chakra. She's got a conch shell, a bow. There's an arrow in another hand, a sword, a javelin, a shield, a noose. There's all these like many weapons. And I think like the camera just like pulls back away as we see the silhouette of like Nick kind of like Cameroning at this thing. Lyra, what are you doing?
I think that Lyra, did you say she was like she was like right about to go in?
As Anastasia's arriving, yeah.
Yeah. So does she hear the commotion? All right, so I think that she like kind of like looks back and like sees what's going on. I think she'll head in, and knowing that she was interested in this, like she's excited about the bow, I think she'll go like right. And also Lyra's like very interested because why is Anastasia so excited about this bow? So she's gonna go right over to where like that whole like presentation is, and kind of like just hang out over there and like catch. Are there like people walking around with like hors d'oeuvres and stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's like catching people like handfuls, just like in her hand with the napkin and stuff.
Yep, there's lots of tiny dinner hot dogs. There's
Cocktail
dinner,
weenie.
tiny dinner
Exactly.
hot dogs at a fundraiser.
Exactly.
Got your breakfast hot dogs, your dinner hot dogs.
Precisely.
$100 a plate, and the plate is full of Vienna sausages.
Just Vienna sausages. That's it. Meanwhile, Iggy, what's been going on with you while you're in the back?
He's been helping out with the cooking.
He's just cooking with the crew.
Just like literally helping with the cooking.
Yeah. I mean, if he tries to do anything for 90 minutes before the thing opens, that's going to be ultra suspicious. So he's in. He just is spending that 90 minutes.
Okay.
Legitimately helping the
got it.
the staff.
And so as like the
That's so
cooking
great.
is all like completed and people have begun arriving, like the food is like being trayed and plated and like brought out and all this stuff, right? The hors d'oeuvres going out, all this. What's the transition we see? Do we see one? What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Well, what's Iggy gonna do as like the event begins?
He is going to keep an eye on who in authority comes back to the kitchens.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I think that you see like angry chef from outside who is like yelling on the phone comes in, and it's sort of like this portly fellow with like a shaved head. He's actually like comparable to your height, but like much kind of broader even than like Iggy is, like this sort of like frustrated demeanor as he comes in, and he's being like kind of critical, like, yelling about this looks like treasure, like fixing things and directing people and generally being a boss.
Um,
What are you?
Iggy,
Idiots.
Iggy,
Sandwich.
does Iggy have? Iggy has email on his phone.
Unlike Jonathan, yeah.
It's 2080 email.
But I didn't get in. The email I got wasn't from Erastus. It was from his
Erastus
His
Enterprises.
associate.
His people.
Yeah, his people.
How? I guess. Oh, screw it. Iggy's going to grab a tray of food and just start serving people out in the main hall.
Okay.
He's not dressed for it, but.
Excellent. Iggy takes the tray and like starts like heading out down the hall. And I think like as you're like going in the back here, I think that you hear somebody like call your name, and you turn and kind of look.
Well, before I turn, do I recognize the voice?
Yeah. No. You wouldn't, because you've never heard them before.
Then Iggy's going to keep walking.
Okay.
Run away. Run away.
The name,
No,
the
no, no.
voice like calls one more time. Iggy. You're just gonna blow it off.
Yes.
Okay. And so we cut back to the front as Anastasia is now like heading in. Lyra, you're like in the exhibit hall. Nick is kind of like checking out this like tapestry still. The pair of you still outside photographing as Anastasia's heading into the place.
I mean, I think once she's headed in, we're gonna try and
Follow up.
I mean, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We were out here to know when she got in and to blend in,
Yep.
and we've done that.
Yep.
And so now it's time to. We don't want to get stuck out here on. Oh my God, photographing people at a
All
step and
night?
repeat all night. No
Yeah.
way. Goodbye.
Yeah. So what does this look like? What do we see? We see you guys kind of grab up your stuff, and then like you're gonna try to follow her right in.
I think so, and I think if anybody tries to stop us, the move is like, we're here photographing the event like because Anastasia asked us to, and like so we're her team and we're following her.
Okay, so the security person who was like, I have to double check your stuff before I let you in. Definitely, like a lot of you like start going towards the door, and I think you hear like, hey, hold on a second. I did not get confirmation that the pair of you are allowed inside.
I think Escher's like, Miss Erastus asked us to come with her we are her media team. Like all the stuff that I just said, that's what Escher is saying.
Yeah. I got you. I think Escher has to make a convince roll though against this person, because they like Jonathan's was not enough to be like, yeah, we belong here. It was enough for her to be like, I don't want to deal with your bullshit. So like, sure, take some pictures.
Yeah, like fine, take some pictures.
Yeah, but if I'm like really letting you in here, then like you gotta like convince me.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jonathan does have a help.
You got a help point too.
Yeah, I can help you out a point.
What are you gonna do? How you want to burn that juice to help Escher?
I think I think kind of giving them a look like, don't you know who this is? And kind of they're getting inside. You have to do this timely. Like, let's move it.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna give Escher like a temporary status of like important journalist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Escher, you have +1 for that, and then what else are we doing?
Filmmaking equipment.
Yep.
And persistent in the face of obstacles.
Yes.
A classic that we have not called on in a while.
True.
I'm thinking about the crew tag of Brain Trust because
Yeah.
I feel like Jonathan and I we're working in tandem here.
You-
Like, vibe. We're on the same vibe.
I think so too. Yeah, I think that the pair of you are like clearly like you've talked through this, and now like you're bouncing back and forth. So I think totally.
Yeah. And I mean, we know authority figures get in the way is going to be a part. It's just going to be part of it because it always
It always is.
Okay. I'm trying to see if any of the other persistent ones are useful or make sense. I guess determination to achieve kind of is like really the driving factor behind like convincing her to let us go is like whatever it takes to get her to let us do what we got to do is like Escher's mode of attack.
I dig that. Yeah.
It's like we need to succeed.
Yep, I dig that.
Yeah. It's like, listen, the rich lady's going that way.
Yeah.
We gotta go that way.
Yep.
And she's gonna be pissed if we're like stuck here.
Yep.
Talking to you through this bullshit.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Oh, and then I get let me add the plus.
Okay, cool. So you're rolling to convince with like a power of 4, right?
Yeah, because I think it's 4 power tags and then a weakness tag and then a help point.
It
I
is.
think is the math.
It is. That's the math.
That's remarkable.
You can
that
math
was
just
correct.
fine, Zed.
It's not usually true.
It just
Okay.
happened. I saw it.
All right. Rolling convince. Do it. Go.
8.
Hey,
Yeah.
success.
Okay. Like mild. Like we're doing okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
doing
we're
Kind of
stumbling our way
getting
through this.
by. Yes. So I think that what's like you're threatening them with here? What's the status you're kind of threatening them with?
I don't know how to word it, but it's like that they're gonna be in trouble with.
Yeah, we're doubling down on this, like, on like repercussions for,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yes.
imminent repercussions of 4, and so I think that they're like, fine, and one of them is she like turns and I think is like, Donald, take care of everything here. I need to bring these 2 inside.
We can really just walk in.
No, you
like-
can't. You can't. This is my job. You have a job. I have a job.
All right.
Come on, let's go.
Respect.
Respect.
And so, like, she kind of like ushers Escher in. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah,
Along
Yeah.
with Jonathan, a lot of you, like the 3 of you, kind of like heading into the place. So yeah, as you kind of come in, I think that like she approaches Anastasia's security, who's kind of lingering, and kind of like leans in next to him and is like talking to him for a minute, and he turns and is kind of looking at the pair of you. And Anastasia, meanwhile, has like walked kind of into the midst of all these people. She's surrounded, right? She's like the belle of the ball. Everybody wants to be talking to her. She's still in this main entry area. She's standing next to one of these poster boards with the bow and arrow on it. So the pair of you kind of see this beat, as it were. And yeah, I think that the security guy like turns looking at you, and he just kind of nods. And so the outside security woman walks over to you, and she's like, all right, you're his to worry about now. Don't touch anything.
Oh God, no, only the shutter.
Oh my god.
That's too good. And so with that, she turns and heads back out, right? And you guys essentially now have like Anastasia's like bodyguard kind of eyes on you, as it were. So with this, Iggy, you're moving around serving food. Nick, you're like coming out of like the like Indian historical kind of area. Lyra, you're in like the main exhibit. Jonathan Escher, you're in the like entry area where Anastasia is like talking to all these people. What happens? What do you all want to do?
Is the bow on display?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I go look at it and roll investigate to see if I can maybe recognize it?
Yeah, absolutely. So meanwhile, like Lyra, you're in that room, like eating on the hors d'oeuvres, and I think we see you staring as like you're looking up, and it's this like It's very sort of old. It almost looks like it's petrified at this point. There's obviously no like string on it, but it's on this kind of stand in this lit case, you know. And I think that there's literally like these like one arrow that's also sitting on like its own stand at an angle kind of underneath it. And yeah, there's a whole plaque there about how like, yup, it was found. They think it's over 12,000 years old. There's like an expectation. The carbon dating like has not confirmed it yet, but it's probably the oldest like complete like bow found in the world. Yeah. So you can go ahead and make an investigate roll, Nick.
Okay. I don't know how much is going to help here, but I'm just going to roll it and see what happens. Can I roll warrior instincts with this?
I don't think so, because I think that the instincts part of warrior instincts implies that it's like
reactionary.
Yeah, that
skills.
It's just about some built-in response rather than knowledge.
Oh man, this might be a straight roll. This is gonna be fun. Unless it has been featured in something from pop culture, in which case.
No. Well.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. It hasn't, right? Like,
okay.
You're not investigating other things. You're investigating the bow. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. I think this is a straight roll, which would be very exciting.
Wow.
Yikes.
Oof. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Because
Okay.
we've been rolling so well.
I know. I know. Okay, let's see it. Nick's making a straight roll of investigate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
Oh boy, big move.
Oh no.
Nick sneezes on
Not our
it.
day.
No. I mean, I only rolled 2d6. It would be extremely.
Okay, I got it. Let me just double check myself here, but I think I know exactly what I want to do.
Can I ask a question?
Please, yeah.
That's purely hypothetical. Like when you roll with a power of 0 and you succeed on these kinds of things, like what happens?
You always get at least one clue
okay.
or one juice or like,
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
It's like, great, you did it. You get 0.
Yeah.
You get nothing.
You always get at least like one thing of like things that you might be looking for here. You know what I mean?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hold on a second. I'm just trying to like double check myself, but I think that what I want to do here is okay. So I think that you are pretty certain, Nick, what you take away from this bow is that in fact you think it's a fake. You think that this is all like bullshit. I think like you're pretty convinced that like this is total bullshit. There's like no conceivable way this thing is 12,000 years old. It's like looks like it's like stone and fossilized, but like it's cleaned up so nice. You just like no, this is inconceivable. You know, you maybe like read the article in the Neon Yorker when it came out about the original Home Guard bow that was discovered and dated at 11,000 years, and you're like, no way, no chance. They wouldn't put this thing out on display without the carbon dating being done. It wouldn't be such a big deal. Like this, there's something fishy about this.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and so Lyra, like, I think the scene is like Lyra and Nick each like looking through the glass case at each other with the bow in the middle, right? Iggy is kind of like moving around at this point. Anastasia sort of extracts herself from this mass, and she's like, "Oh, thank you, everybody. Believe me, I'll talk to everyone tonight. I just want to have a look at the exhibit. It's been so exciting." And she's like making her way into like that main room. Yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting and like spiders in a web.
Mm-hmm. Iggy, at this point, you're like moving around with the hors d'oeuvre trays, and I think where is there anywhere particular you like end up in this main room?
I am just in the main room circulating.
Okay, got it. And so I think that a lot of you recognize Iggy with one of these like serving trays kind of moving around, and like he especially stands out because he's wearing like the chef's clothes, you know, like and so yeah, like she's looking at the bow for a time. People are kind of like talking to her about it. You overhear her like oh yes, like I've always had great interest in these things, and I think that yeah, it's at this point that Iggy.
There's no reason. There's no way this could be real.
I think Iggy, you feel a tap on your shoulder as everybody is kind of like filed into like this the room where the exhibit is, and you're in sort of the main entry hall. Like people are kind of like leaving this area; it's emptying a little bit, and you feel this like tap on your shoulder. And you hear this voice. It's the same voice that was like calling you in the hallway. Like, I thought that you said you wanted to speak tonight. And you turn around and like it's Archibald Erastus standing here, like kind of towering over you, this long flowing hair.
And you are
Archibald Erastus.
Oh,
My people contacted you today.
yes. Sorry, this doesn't seem like the best place to talk, but I'm sure you have better things to do here than, chat with
Nope,
Chef.
I don't.
Okay.
Boy.
He says, seen one ancient artifact. You've seen them all, haven't you?
That's not how history works, but
At all, not at all.
He says,
not
no,
even a
no,
little
it just
bit.
was a turn of phrase I was using. I'm quite fortunate and actually have taken a close look at the piece before it was put out on display. I am a benefactor of the museum and, well, money buys access.
Taylor and I roll our eyes.
It's so
We're not
good.
even- We're so annoyed.
The like synchronized eye roll, like I really do love it. I think that he's like, money buys access, Iggy.
cocktail weenie.
Picking a blanket.
He just kind of looks down at it, like, and I think he takes a toothpick and lances one, like.
Oh, that was the last one. I guess I have to go back to the kitchen now.
Sounds good. I'll walk with you then.
Okay.
And so, as the pair of you are kind of walking back into the hallway, I think that he's like, you and your friends, you've been involved in a lot the past few nights, I hear. Agent Perez is hunting for the journalist. I hear that there was some text messages flying around.
Yeah. None of this was mentioned in your email to me about a business opportunity.
No, I understand.
So you want to organize a consortium of chefs or something? I wasn't quite clear on.
No, I want to hire you to organize a consortium of chefs. I want you to find the best people in your business and put them together. I think that you were born to serve, Iggy. I think that you do a very good job at it. I think that I can give you the resources and the guidance that you need to serve not just me, but the elite of our city. The tools that you would need to serve many of them. I mean, food, of course. Like slow boiling contempt. It's so good.
Punch this guy in the face.
Yeah, this
I
guy
love
is the
the, like,
worst.
Food, of course.
Terrible.
Like
No,
you
I
have to
think you were
clarify.
born-
Just so we're clear, of course, food. That's what I
Food.
mean.
Oh, food.
I don't really do good in management, but I have some contacts that I'm sure would be willing to if you need a network of chefs, I'm sure that's something I could help put together. I prefer to be behind the stove, not behind a desk.
Well, then perhaps I
As
could
you
put you
said,
on retainer.
I prefer serving.
Perhaps
that?
I could put you on retainer then. I hear you're the best.
Sure. Let me just check my calendar. I've got. I do have some gigs already lined up.
Hmm.
So, if you have an idea of the sort of the schedule that you're thinking of, or any details like that, I'm guessing that you have people to deal with that. I can work directly with them.
I'll have them send you an email of a potential itinerary along with a possible salary or rate.
Sounds. I will. I need to learn more before I commit to it, and it sounds like that's what the next step is details.
I think that he's like, I could use a man like you.
A chef?
And the other things.
Okay. Is your sister here?
Mm-hmm. She's back with the old beau.
Interesting.
The old bow.
Old.
Probably also a bar somewhere.
I think he's like standing looking at you like, am I making you uncomfortable?
No, not at all,
Good.
actually.
I think I make some of your friends very uncomfortable.
That's the
tracks.
feeling, uncomfortable.
It's hard to like a man as wealthy as I am. I have.
Oh.
I think he's like. I have no illusions about that.
Iggy hears eyes rolling in the other room.
You could just like feel them.
Like
the waves.
I don't think it's the wealth as much as it is the comments like that.
It's a little bit of both. The comments don't help. Wow.
Learn to own them, I suppose. He says, I don't want your friends to be uncomfortable. I want to help you.
Can I ask you a personal question, Mr. Erastus?
You can.
Do you feel you have many friends or mostly business associates?
Oh, no, I don't have any friends.
Okay.
I have only business associates and employees and people looking to get something from me, and they usually overlap into both those prior categories a great deal.
Well,
I'm not asking
that's
you to be
unfortunate.
my friend.
Personal.
I'm asking you to work for me, and I think that I can offer you more than pay in return. Answers.
Just to be clear, I'm just looking for pay.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
And I think he says, are you really? You don't have any interest in how this all happened? Or
From you, money is fine.
I could tell you a great deal about the source of all of this. I've spent a long time learning what I can about this place, this city, the things that drive people like us, people with more than straightforward motivations.
I'm very pleased to hear that you have answered questions you may have been wondering about. I just don't feel comfortable taking information from you without knowing you better.
If
So
the time comes that you want to know more, you know where to find me. I'll have my people send you a proposal. Have a good
Okay.
night, Iggy. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
I think he like extends his hand to shake your hand. Yeah,
I'll shake
okay.
his hand.
And so we cut back to the main room where Anastasia has walked in, Jonathan and Escher in tow, cameras working, the bodyguard kind of following. And so Lyra and Nick are kind of like standing there checking out the glass case. And I think that, what's happening? Are any of you approaching her, I ask?
I mean, I'm
I've-
saying out loud, this is fake, right? There's no way this boat was real.
You all right, Nick?
Yeah, I just, I remember reading something about an article, a home guard bow, that was like 11,000 years old, and now all of a sudden they found one that's like 12,000 years old, looks
Yeah,
so
that's
cleaned up
kinda-
and fancy.
That works. You know, you find more things, dig a little deeper.
I don't know. This seems fake. What if they're like ripping people off?
I mean, maybe, but like, she seems really interested in it. So, yeah. By the way, I'm gonna go. I'll. You want to just keep an eye on things, okay? I'm gonna go try and talk to her.
Sure.
And I think it.
Just watch
I
my
think
back,
actually,
see
like,
how this goes.
you, like, turn, Lyra, and you realize, like, she's walking right over towards kind of the pair of you. And you see Jonathan and Escher kind of in tow, like,
Taking pictures.
you know. And so I think, yeah, Anastasia, like, walks up next to you, and she's just like, hello.
Hi.
Hey, I'm looking at this fake bow.
It's not... I recognize you all from the other night at the club.
Yeah. We heard about this fundraiser. That's pretty cool. What's going on here? I'm a fan of history in general, and yeah, I just
Events,
think
you know, stuff that happened.
And I think she's like, well, I'm luckier than many, and I try to take what I've been given and use it for better things than my brother does. So she says,
I appreciate
when I
that.
heard about the team that was going out to the site over here, I invested a good deal, and it seems to have yielded results. She says, I'm certain.
Oh.
Did it though?
Oh, it did. I'm certain of it. She says, the carbon dating will be back soon enough, but I promise you, this is older than the home guard bow. This is truly something to be found. Imagine the first men and women to build tools like this, and well, it changed the fate of our whole species. To be able to hunt at range like this without a thrown weapon, a spear, a sling is a formidable tool, but it's nowhere near as good as this.
Chakra.
I think her like eye quirks a little bit as you say that. She says, interesting.
Yeah, Nick says it out loud, almost not even realizing he said it out loud.
Listen, I'm not good at this like mincing words thing, and I'm just gonna be straight up with you. You seem like a nice person.
Thank you.
Gonna be really real with you. I don't like your brother. Really not a cool person. And yeah,
he's very hated.
Yep.
I think she says.
Oh, great.
He's
yeah.
rather abrasive,
so
pretentious. He's
yeah. I get abrasive, but like he's okay. So how do I? She kind of like looks around, make sure that there's not anybody like directly near
There's
them.
like a little bit of space around her, you know what I mean? It's not like a mob like on top of her, right? Like I think the bodyguard is kind of like keeping people from getting like right up on her or whatever.
I think like she says just like not whispering, but in a voice where like just the three of them can hear. Like
I was gonna ask actually, is Jonathan and Escher here as well?
Yeah,
in the
they're
vicinity?
like right
Are you
here.
guys,
Okay, so we're all here.
okay, sweet.
Except
Yeah,
Iggy's
so then
talking
just
with
Gotcha,
Mhm.
Archie.
gotcha.
Yeah. So then, yeah.
Archie.
So Lyra, so that the five of us can hear. Yep. Math. We kind of know what's going on.
What's going on about the
with
bow?
people
Do we?
like us.
Oh,
Oh, sure.
us?
With people like your boyfriend
Us.
And you?
Yes.
and your brother.
Yeah.
Definitely your brother.
Definitely him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Both of you.
Oh, that is something, player-wise, that is something that Escher knows.
Oh.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't know about Anastasia for sure, but I do know about
I
Archibald.
think it
Good
was
old
confirmed
Archie,
that the
for
both
sure.
of them.
You do. I think
Sounds like
she's
it,
like looking over the lot of you, and she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
So we should have a conversation."
Yeah.
My boyfriend? Are you talking about Lyndon?
my boyfriend.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I don't want to put titles on it or
Yeah, I don't
anything,
like
but
labels.
I get it.
Fair.
But the guy that we saw you with,
Yeah, we have some things.
Have you seen him? He was supposed to be here tonight.
Yeah, he's chilling out for a moment as
Oh,
Oh.
as Nick
Oh.
turns around and finally like turns away from the bow and is just like,
say that.
"Did you know?"
No, what?
What he is.
I know he's different.
Your brother is keeping some serious things from you.
Or she's keeping things from us.
We need her to trust us.
Oh, we really need to have the conversation then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think she like looks around the room like, okay. Have you seen everything you need to see here?
We really
Guess
just
so.
came looking for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, museums aren't really my thing.
Well, you're missing
I saw
out.
some cool stuff.
I
I like the place. Really cool stuff. Like the exhibit over there. Still not sure about this bow though.
Lyra's like
Stuff that a bunch
kind of
of
not
rich
into
old
it.
white people stole from some other people and should probably give back.
think that
so-
she's like, this is one of the most remarkable places in the entire city, and you're really missing out. I have seen all of this, and the tickets have been sold, so my work here is done. Would you like to get out of
Great,
here?
let's-
Okay,
Yes.
let's go.
Okay.
And I think
I'm just gonna grab one more drink. Hang on,
Yep.
they're free.
she's like, of course.
Oh.
And I think she's like, Bernard, come on. And she turns quickly and like starts. And the bodyguard's like, these two are all right. And she's like, yes, come on, let's go.
Yeah, now that we're cool, Escher's grabbing a drink too.
Okay,
before
cool.
if Nick's running over
So
to
I
the
think
bar,
we see
Escher's going.
Anastasia with her bodyguard, Jonathan and Lyra like kind of flanking her. Those four head out the front door. Iggy's still like in the back.
Yeah, somebody's got to go
He
get
and Archibald have
We
parted.
can get Iggy.
He's
And we
working.
see like we see Escher and Nick kind of shoulder up next to each other at the bar. Is there anything you two say to each other in this beat as like Anastasia's heading outside with the others?
I
Do you
think
think-
Escher's like, this kind of went, like it worked.
I mean, yeah.
It's going
say,
okay, I think.
It was felt easy. Some might say a little too
And
easy.
so I think we
Oh my
we
god.
see outside, like heading down the stairs of the red carpet, like Anastasia. People are yelling. You two, Lyra and like Jonathan, are kind of like following next to her. The bodyguard's out in front texting, and he's like, the car's back on the way. He hasn't even parked it yet. He just needs to drive around the block. And you get down to the sidewalk. And I think that, Escher and Nick, like the bartender's a little busy and is like, okay, I gotcha. And they start like making your drinks and they kind of,
Do you think she's lying? It would be the other question I would have for Escher, by the way.
About the bow? Are you still stuck on the bow?
No, I'm pretty sure the bow is fake. But I mean, about Lyndon.
I don't know. Why would she lie to us? She doesn't seem to like her brother any more than anybody else.
I mean, why would she lie? Because she was with a serial murderer?
I don't know.
Nick whispers the serial murder part, by the way. He does not say that out loud to the bartender. Because she's been hooking up with a serial murderer.
I think Lyra on their way out too, like probably before they get to the door, she just shoots a text to Iggy that says like, "We're heading out with Anastasia."
I think we should keep our guard up one way or the other.
Oh, my guard is always up. All the way. 100%.
Walls up.
Nick nods at that.
What's the Star Wars thing? Shields at 50%, they're at 100%.
That's Star Trek.
Listen. You said it, not me.
Yeah, both Kevin and Nick. Exactly. Star Trek, actually.
What does Iggy say? What were you gonna say?
He gets the text message and tries to casually duck out the back.
Sure. Yeah, you can duck out the back casually, no problem. And so are you like doing anything in particular? Or are you just walking out the door you came in?
Yeah, walking out the door
Okay.
I came in.
And so I think as a lot of you are like heading down, Jonathan, Lyra, you're with Anastasia, you're standing at the curb, the bodyguard is next to you, and he's like, yeah, the driver's on his way. And I think like Escher and Nick, you get your drinks. Iggy, you step out the side door, head down the steps, like turn looking down the street. And I think like we see the stretch limousine, the stretch Escalade kind of come past Iggy as it's going down the street, getting ready to like head down to the corner and make the turn around to the front of the building, when there's like a yell from across the street, Lyra and Jonathan, and you just hear like, "You crazy fucking bitch! What the fuck did you do to Lyndon?" And you see these three people whom you totally recognize from outside the bar the other night jump out of a cab and proceed to like pull out automatic weapons and open fire.
Whoa! Whoa!
And that's where we're gonna stop.
I was like, where are we gonna leave off? What is like a rest that's gonna confront us or something?
I think that's where we're gonna leave off.
Wow.
We're getting shot at. and it's
at.
definitely our fault.
Oh my god.
And meanwhile, yeah, I like should have done this earlier, but I think that like Iggy hears this yell from behind him, like, "Hey, Bolton, where the fuck is your friend Jonathan Keeley?" You know, and like Agent Perez is like standing at the back door, you know. Yeah, and that's where we will leave off tonight.
Wow.
And so yeah, that was like some slow burn. I hope that was interesting to you guys.
Yeah.
You dug in kind of like deep to like some big people now, and like now dramatic things are happening, and yeah, I like.
And now all of those big people want us.
Yeah, it's really an issue.
For better.
You have like these big power players and like Perez, like both these Erastus people. Now you've really like keyed Anastasia and have been like, "Hey, by the way, we're special." You know, I'm really excited to like see what happens from here. Lyndon is chilling out.
Great fun.
This is fascinating, and so I guess this is where we geek out to the credits.
Man, what an ending.
I guess.
Was that good? Is that a good ending?
Yes. I mean, it's definitely like classic cliffhanger style, right? Like, oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. I guess it is classic cliffhanger style, isn't it? Yeah, cool. This is where we geek out to the credits. I really enjoyed a bunch of things that happened tonight. I think there were a few really fun little conversations. They're quiet and this game is not like a full tilt, like kinetic, crazy momentum all the time. But I really like a lot of the little things that happened here. But yeah, cool. Who wants to go first?
I guess immediately, we burned brain trust, didn't we?
You did. You burned brain trust.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that. I think that. We did our thing tonight. We came in we did our different angles.
We did both of them, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that we were separate, but I think that we worked it pretty well as a group to get what we needed to get done.
Yeah, I guess you did, right?
Yeah.
You came up with a pretty sophisticated plan about how the lot of you could all kind of infiltrate this place. And so, yeah, you want to recover one of those. Which one is it?
Brain
Okay, so
trust.
everybody gets brain trust back. That's Lyra. Who else?
I'm trying to, because I feel like I had meaningful-ish interactions.
Meaningful-ish.
Yeah. I mean, there was.
Don't read into it too much.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who would make sense. And I feel like it's either Lyra or Escher that I had conversations with on this, just the ending conversation. But since I already have a help point with Lyra, I will go with Escher then and get the help point on that.
Oh, no.
So I have a help point that I could use.
That's
for
great.
Escher
I think
at
you
some
did
point.
have a meaningful interaction with Escher at the end there. I really like that little beat of the two of you at the bar. Keep your guard up. Always. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That's Nick. Who else?
I think I'm also gonna take a help point for Escher.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like it was our
dynamic
buddy
duo.
episode.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan has slowly been duoing up with people.
Yep.
I've had a good one with Lyra and one with Nick. Iggy, you're
Mhm.
next.
Next week.
That is
The
going to
Iggy
be
and
a
Jonathan
phenomenal team up also.
Oh
Fight
my
the
gosh, I
gang of
love it.
Asura demon gunmen that are coming for the museum. That's going to be great. Yeah.
God. Oh,
Great.
boy.
So
Yeah, I'm
exciting.
psyched for that. Okay, so that's Jonathan. That leaves Escher and Iggy. What about you two?
You want to go, Kurt? I have a couple ideas.
Yeah, I'm gonna opt out of geeking out. I'm not seeing any that are relevant for Iggy this session.
Crude and Grow, you didn't have any meaningful interactions with the other people. You had a meaningful interaction with Archibald Erastus. You take a help point with me as the GM, Kurt.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Aw.
Okay, cool. So Iggy can opt out. What about Escher?
Yeah, I mean, I think also in terms of crew growth, we did come up with this complex plan, but it was also a plan where as long as a part of it worked, we were probably in
That's
good
true.
shape.
Yeah.
So I did feel like it was all one idea, but it was also well, you guys try and do this, and we'll go try and do this thing, and probably something will work. And I think kind of all of
They
them
did.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some even with our mediocre rolls,
Yeah, we did
somehow all
good
of them
team.
worked. So I'm gonna recover our approach from all
Okay,
angles.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Iggy did bring down the heat of Perez as he walked through the back door, but otherwise things worked out meaningfully well. Okay, cool. That's everybody geeking out basically, and yeah, we're at a really interesting spot to return next week for episode 8,
Yes.
our official 2-month mark, and yeah, we'll see where we get from there.
Right.
But I am excited to see that happen, quite frankly. Cool. Do any of you have any
too.
questions or anything that you want to go over here? Anything informal that we want to geek out on before we part?
I love
I
the
think-
various. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think I just decided, like at the very end, like the thing that we brought up in the beginning, that I'm adding like an additional tag to my
Yeah.
mission.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And I think I decided on there was a question that was like, what have you learned from like this mission, this like crime must pay, and me going for it. And I think with like the last little kind of couple days, I think learning to throw a punch is his big
Oh,
thing, where he's been
nice.
more like fighting than I think he ever has been. But it is a skill he's developing.
Okay, cool. So you can throw a mean punch.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's
Nice.
something he's gonna kind of lean on too, is like he doesn't just have to like turn into this monster that can fight.
Oh,
Like human
yeah.
form can throw a punch.
Yeah, true story. That's pretty cool. I dig it. You're giving yourself like a combat tag that has nothing to do with your mythos. That's great. I love that.
Sweet.
Question. Sorry, Asher. Did you throw some an attention on the crew theme, or did you...
No, I recovered the burned crew tag because we had
Right.
burned both brain trust
Yes.
and approach from all angles.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I also reached an improvement on my personality.
Oh, wow.
My personality is improving.
Yay.
It's not at all.
It's getting worse.
And I looked it up on my little e-reader. I have the book. What did I do? It's a dynamite. I did a dynamite
Oh,
thing.
nice for personality.
Yes. It's called Getting Good at This. Choose a core move. I chose Convince that best represents your personality. Whenever you use it with tags from this theme, it's dynamite. So anytime I try to convince somebody, it's gonna work.
Awesome. Choose a core move. Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's
Cool.
Escher, who hates talking to people, is suddenly very convincing. But they're persistent.
Yeah, Escher's
Yeah, a few words.
Yeah, Escher is persistent
Yeah.
and is not phased by obstacles.
Doesn't take no for an
Mhm.
answer very easily, which probably would be a better power tag than something else that's in there. But I didn't know that
Well,
then.
We've learned. We're learning. We're learning.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
I also had a catch up thing, Rich, that I meant to
Mhm.
say.
Catch up?
When Lyra sort of made the decision to like go in with Nick instead of like sneaking around the back with Iggy, I wanted Mark crack on her personality again.
Is that going to break you?
Mm.
So
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
that will be the
Oh.
destruction of Lyra's personality, a light in the dark.
Yikes.
Which let us remind you
Whoa.
just that she truly wants to do good.
Brutal.
Please don't look at me while I'm saving the world. This is really good. I think that you will talk during the week, and when
Yes.
we come back next week, we'll like dig in on that as we get started, and we can we'll figure out the details between that now and then, and we'll talk through it for
Yes.
everybody when we come back next week. And I
Cool.
think it's great you bring that up, Taylor,
Good.
because for whatever it's worth, again, this thing of like fade, crack, it's all on you. Now, I started throwing things at you today that should be like pressing and pulling on that in certain ways. Like for me, I'm just going to like be explicit about a couple of things here so that you understand where I'm coming from. Iggy, what is the source of this knowledge? This is a mystery that like your mythos is driving you to get answers about. And so when you're standing there with Archibald Erastus, like, I can tell you more about the power. Like, that's me being like, are you making a hard choice here? To be like, I don't trust this guy. Because, like, he can tell you more about the power. And then, like, while I don't really live to serve, I really, really enjoy it, right? This idea of, like, come and serve me, Iggy. You know? That's me trying to tap off these like mysteries and identities about Iggy specifically. And so like some of the other ones, I'm trying to like get in on this stuff. But like Escher, I want to wake up the people to the world that needs saving. So like, okay, here's big money. Like, what do you want to do? You want like get your stuff out there? Like,
Don't make me get into a fight with you about this.
Please
right
don't.
now.
But like I'm trying to like just start to like nudge at those things, right? That's like my effort to like dig into that a little bit. Is specifically like what I was digging at, right? How do I warn the people, right? That like that's me like playing on the edge of that. Lyra, I didn't really like throw you any bones there because you're already digging into it. But then for Jonathan, like
Little Perez, the authority kind of figures.
oh yeah,
They feel like they're
definitely, but like the danger behind the danger, right? Like that's been this thing and this idea of like which one, who, what's going on, and like even like maybe where your wings taking me, but I didn't really go in hard on that. But yeah, and for Nick, what did we have here? Oh yeah, your background doesn't define you. The stuff with the parents is like interesting, and then even the stuff with like Lyndon of like how can your potential for destruction be beneficial? Like I'm starting to try to like dig at those things and give you guys some opportunities to like respond to them there. And it's hard for me to like know without explicitly being like, are you making a hard choice? So we'll see.
I mean, that might help though. For
I think
us
it
to
will,
because like we don't always know,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
so if we have if you let us know like it's time to make a hard choice, we also will know like we're about to crack
Yep.
one of our like things, so that way we know to mark it.
I will like keep that in mind going forward. And then like even one of the other things in terms of like moves you can make is like if you give up something that you want in order to like abide by your identity or one of your your identities, then you can mark attention on that theme. That's literally like adhering to your identity, right? And like sticking to this idea of like who you are or whatever. So I'm gonna try to be better about that stuff, and I will like prompt you, I guess, because that probably is a good call. But yeah, I really had fun today. I'm really excited for next week.
I feel like one of my logos is about to come into play.
Oh yeah,
same.
As gunfire erupts.
no doubt. One of your logos is very likely to come into play. Let's.
I got a camera on a gimbal.
Yeah, you sure do.
Oh man.
Somebody's gonna see this.
It's interesting. It's really interesting as Nick and Nash are like just coming out. Let's do it backwards this week as we go around. Kurt, what's going on with you? Anything you want to hit up or talk about?
No, nothing for me. Just be sure to catch our sibling podcast or sibling stream over at Sabotage the DM on Twitch. Great group of folks, and check out their stuff.
For sure. How about you, Zed?
I got lots of stuff. I got this. I got D&D in Space also here on Tuesdays. I got Final Fantasy VIII podcasts dropping on Saturdays, and I got Pose show recaps, the patron-only Pose recap podcast dropping. It has not been. We've had 2 episodes and they have not dropped the same day. But sometime later in the week, because it airs in an hour, sometime later in the week, Pose show recaps. Me and Grace Leader talking about Pose and trans stuff and queer stuff with a host of rotating guests. That wasn't the right word. Lots of people hanging out. We're having a good time. I'm a hard rock hope on the internet.
That was good. Good night. Good night. Drop the mic. Grace is awesome. Go check out that podcast. I need to watch this show. How about you, Sheldon?
Yeah, you can find me at Sheldum all over the internet. I don't post a lot, but I've been trying to. And I also, you can find me this week. I just did one of the D&D sessions, and there are a lot of characters on the hunt right now. We're in some sort of a contest. There are a bunch of marks, and we don't know who's winning, but it's a fun little adventure. Our group managed to kill a wyvern, which is terrifying and really exciting. So I'm loving all of those adventures, and I think it's something if you're listening, of course, out there, like join in. They're great.
I'll just double down on that. Anybody out there who's listening is not like a patron of Post post-show recaps, go hit it up. Like, you can find pretty much all of us over there. We play D&D together casually, hang out. You can listen into those sessions. We don't live stream them, but, like, you can catch them live when we play, and they're wild. My game last week was nuts. A bunch of the people here are podcasting there. It's really good stuff. Awesome. Taylor, how about yourself?
Rania422 on Twitter, Rania422_ on Instagram. Yeah, I don't have too much going on. Hopefully gonna start streaming some games pretty soon. And I finished the Wheel of Time book 1.
I feel like let's talk this week. Maybe we like jump on and like talk about it for an hour or something like that, because I would like that. And why not record it? Because #content. How about you, Kevin? What's going on with you?
So you can follow me on Twitter at KevMahadeo. You can check out my website, mahadman.com. But there is a ton of stuff happening on the aforementioned post-show recaps. We have the Mighty Ducks podcast that I do for the patrons with Melissa Woodward. That is weekly as we're heading into the final few episodes.
Happy birthday, Melissa
Woodward!
Right. The Conway to my Bombay as the host of the Mighty Ducks podcast. And beyond that, everything is super, which is you can get just by signing up for just watch regular post-show recaps. That one's not part of the Patreon. We are doing that with Josh Wigler, and we are currently doing the 4 Christopher Reeve Superman films. It is a blast. The first one should be hitting the feed this week. Really, really happy with that one, and excited to get into the rest of that series, because boy, oh boy, does that series have some interesting things that happen. And along with that, 2 other things we have here. One, we are doing an Everything is Super Invincible special that will also be coming out. That one is a patron exclusive, so it's a little bit of a spin-off one-shot on the animated Amazon series that Josh and I talked about. It's really great, really fun. Highly recommend the series, and highly recommend signing up for the PSR patreon.com/post-show recaps, where you can get access to that Everything is Super Invincible special. You can get access to the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. You can get access to a bunch of stuff, a bunch of exclusive podcasts that we have going on. And right now we are at about 484. If we are able to hit 500 by the end of this month, we are very close to it. Josh is going to be doing a 24 watch. That's right, a watch of the first season of 24, which Josh is a big fan of and has not visited visited in a long time. So it'll be interesting to see him go back into that series, and he is doing that with a special guest that I will not be revealing. It is not me, I will say, but it would be someone very
exciting.
Yeah.
It's a very exciting guest. This is the if you don't care about 24, still sign up, because you want Josh to do this podcast. It's going to be fantastic.
I used to watch that show like secondhand, because my grandparents, my grandmother was obsessed with it.
I watched the first 2 seasons old school style, went to Blockbuster, rented the DVDs, and literally watched them. My sister and I sat on that couch, and it was like one after the other, because it's just like, oh God. And like blitzed through, and it's like, okay, well, we got to wait till tomorrow till we return these sets and get the next one.
I have like the distinct memory of that like iconic like counter.
Yeah.
In my head,
And then the text message phone. That was my text noise for a long time.
That's too good.
Everyone thought it was Kim Possible, and I was like, nope, I will correct you.
I will correct you.
That's a different text sound. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yep.
There, yep.
Cool.
Call me if you don't reach me.
Yes.
I'm Rich Filiberto. I'm here, Twitch TV/DM Philly. You can find me on YouTube at DM Philly. We got all the old shows archived there. You're going to see a couple other things popping up. We're taking tomorrow night off from Firelight Tales Titans airs. We're down a player. I'm going to get my COVID shot, so I may end up like sick. Who knows? I hope not. I'm really excited though. And we figured we are at an incredible crisis as the youths of Erkengard have made it into the tomb of Gural Khan. They are fighting the High Paladin of the Sapphire Legion. They have discovered within the sarcophagus of Gural Khan himself the Maul of the Titans and some ancient morning star of power. They have charmed an earth elemental to their side, and they fight desperately as one dwarf stands
crazy.
man against minotaur wedged in a hallway. It's real drama, and I was like, I don't want to like come back and do something that's not this. We're just gonna take the week off and like come back to like the big
Yeah.
crazy fight.
Yeah.
Suspense.
before the
It's such a
storm.
crazy fight that like we have to come back.
It's nuts.
But Tuesday night at what time? 8 p.m. Eastern, at 5 p.m. Pacific, we will be back for episode 2 of Dragonfly D&D in space. And so it's going to be really exciting. We got 5 out of 7 of our crew for this week. It's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to see what happens as we're now really digging into that game a little bit. So come check us out, hang out. Thank you, everybody who was out there in the chat and followed us and fought the good fight against Nightbot. We hate that guy. I swear to God, he'll be gone by Tuesday. Thank you, everybody, very much. Good night. Bye.